Okay, we've heard that same line
All right,
4
we're back.
times.
Two-Back Taper podcast.
Paul and I argued
Episode
earlier
number 10.
because he was like, how should I introduce Alyssa? And I was like, why do you get to introduce her? And he's like, I
Because
always do.
I'm the captain of this ship.
Okay,
Whoa.
enough.
Whoa, you.
That was aggressive.
Well, now we know how this
SpongeBob.
goes.
I'm SpongeBob. You're Patrick.
No, I want to be like,
We should
Mr.
introduce ourselves.
Krabs.
I don't new listeners.
Agreed.
Why do you
There'll
do
be
that
some.
every
My name's
time?
Paul. Alyssa, stop talking. We haven't introduced you yet.
Shut up, Alyssa.
that's really mean. Why are you being aggressive
I want Matt
tonight?
to introduce me
Yeah,
now.
I'm way better. I'm nice. It's like bad cop,
My
good
name's
cop.
Paul, this leader of this
No.
pack.
No.
We have
Oh.
Mac,
Okay.
and today we have a special guest, elite runner / cat mom / running group leader / Lululemon clothes wearer.
Okay,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
the weirdest.
Yup. That last one is important. Yes.
Not even
Alyssa-
like
Yeah.
an ambassador, but you're the wearer.
The wearer
Alyssa-
of the clothes.
Alyssa Mcelheny.
I also I couldn't introduce you because if you listened to the last episode,
Oh, yeah.
I could not pronounce your last name because
Now-
I thought it
now I
was
need to listen.
Mcelheny.
Oh.
I was
no
adding
R.
some extra
She
words
was
in
adding
there.
R's.
Yep.
And then
but
we like so we said your last name like 4 times. So I was like Mcelheny, and I kind of think that sounds
Henny,
good.
right?
I will respond.
Henny?
I think so. My husband's family pronounces it Mcelheny.
Henny. Yeah.
Mac-
But like,
McElhenney.
I feel like that's like an Irish,
Irish.
an Irish last name that like it's spelled a few different ways. Like you know, there's like the sauce. It's like McElhenney, like Tabasco sauce.
Never heard of it.
No.
Oh, okay. Well, it's a sauce. I'm not a
they
big
create
spicy
it?
person, but it's like a last name that's like it has different permutations. Like it's spelled a few different ways. It's like pronounced a few different ways. I'll respond to anything.
So how does your husband pronounce it?
Yeah,
same
just like
same way.
McElhenney.
To have
And
a
you'll be
special
like-
guest for episode 10.
Yeah, I mean, all
I
those
didn't
there's
Yeah.
milestones. Like soon we're gonna get to 50.
100.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's a lot of work.
yeah.
I just kind of I waddle in here. I don't do much. I honestly don't. I went on a run before this with Caro.
She did.
Like
Yeah, they
I like the verb waddle too.
yeah.
I don't walk in here. I waddle down here.
Yeah, pretty much. You know.
Where'd you guys go for a run?
Just around the area.
Yeah.
We went on like a little run walk, just chilling.
That sounds really
Oh
nice.
Talking
yeah.
about
Car- oh
life.
yeah. Carol brought over
Cake.
Cake.
Where
I
is that
I
cake?
can't have any. It's in the fridge.
That means 2 for me.
Yeah, more cake for
Wasn't
Alyssa and
vegan.
Mac.
You guys can
None
have
for
it
Paul.
after.
Yep.
It's like Mean Girls at none for Gretchen Wieners. your Gretchen Wieners in
Does
this
Damien say
situation.
that? Damien. Is
Yeah.
that his name?
Whoever's
Yeah.
dropping off all the like, Cupid things.
Yeah, none for Gretchen Wieners. Yeah.
And she was really sad.
I don't remember that part.
You need to watch Mean Girls again.
Yeah, I do.
Have you
Time.
watched it lately?
No.
I joked with everyone before this podcast, and I was like, yeah, we're having Alyssa on here. I'm going to ask her if she has any friends.
Yeah, please do. That's a great question.
No, it's
It's a
because
really good question.
like I know you as
Yeah.
someone in the running community, and I see you at the runs, and I see your
But yeah.
Strava, and I see you with the kids you coach. But like I don't know what your social life is outside of running.
Well,
Because yeah, I feel like that's a thing. My social life is definitely not like hasn't traditionally been the running community.
Yeah,
I feel like
which is surprising because I feel like
It's my
people in
life.
people who are in the running community and run as fast as you do and as often as you do.
like runners are your friends. Right?
Yeah, like-
yeah. And I guess most of my friends have some connection to running. Like my closest 2 friends, like one I ran with collegiately. It's
Okay.
like there's the running. It rears its head. And then the other one I met at another run club like years back.
You went to another run club?
Well, it was like, do you remember, were you around for like Sweatnet Grand Rapids?
Yeah.
Yeah. So when that was a thing, they had a run club.
Okay,
So
do you
we
remember
joined
that? Yeah.
Yeah. And then, again, Sweatnet is no more in Grand Rapids, but we met there. So like, again, met her through running. And then I'd say like my other like really good friend, like met her through another, like her husband is my coach. So like, there's another like just it's
Running.
It's all. It has to be.
She's putting you on the spot. Like, tell me about all your 3 friends.
Well, oh, your 3
No,
friends. Okay, I didn't
That
tell
would
her
be
how
me,
many
though.
she had to
that
have.
would be me, because you always are like,
always-
who would be in the wedding, Paul? And I
Yeah,
have,
I'm
like,
just like, Paul, who's your
1.5
best friend?
Okay,
guys.
I love that question.
Yeah,
though.
like
right
so-
now. Who would be in
Yeah,
your
so
wedding?
I can even ask you that. You're already
Yes.
married, but like
who would be in your wedding?
basically it's a snapshot of like your life now,
Yeah.
right? Because some of the girls who were in my wedding when I was married at the time, like
Would not be in.
no, and it's
Yeah,
not that they're bad
totally.
people. It's just like that is a snapshot of like your life at that time.
Yeah.
And it's healthy for that to change.
Yeah, and
Like,
Paul
it's
has no
normal.
friends.
Paul,
He has one friend.
I have a couple.
you.
He has one friend.
No, but I also that's a really interesting question. Cause yeah, like I would have answered that question very differently 2 years ago. And
you obviously have sisters.
Yeah. So sisters would be in there too. Yeah. Like I can.
But you can't count them.
No, they're not.
And I don't know if your husband has sisters, but they also don't count.
I do. I feel like if it weren't for siblings, yeah, I'd have like probably 3 bridesmaids.
But for guys and girls, it's so different because like I joke around Paul only has one friend, but like guy friendships are so much easier to maintain
than
girl friendships. 100%.
Yep. And I just don't value like having a million different connections to maintain. Yeah. Like to me, it's like
it's exhausting.
Solid 3. Like I'm set, you know, like 3-ish.
Do you do like girly things with them? Like what do you do? Because they don't run anymore.
No, like some little bits here and there, but like 2 of them have kids. So like that's most of the time like we'll like we go to their house and hang out and like play with their babies, and I don't have kids, so it's a really nice like I don't know, it's a nice like
I have seen
way to
babies
scratch
on
the
your
itch.
Instagram.
Their babies on my Instagram.
Paul's like, whose babies are
Do
those?
your sisters have any or no?
No.
Okay.
No, one. Yeah, one.
Okay,
I have
you
one
forgot
nephew.
that one.
I forgot about Arlo. Yeah.
So you have a niece or nephew. You have a nephew.
One nephew. How about you guys? Do you have nieces and nephews?
No.
No?
I'm the oldest.
I'm the oldest.
Oh, we're all oldest.
Yeah.
Congrats.
Yeah.
Good spot to be.
My mom told me that she has no hope for my little brother. Okay. So
shout out Connor.
So it's all
my mom
on
body
you.
bags a lot.
He's done.
Yeah.
Don't believe in him.
I know. Well, she called me today. I told Paul this, and I was like, I have baby fever because I don't know what it is right now. There's so many babies all over the place. And she's like, yep. Really? And I was like, don't get that excited.
Mother.
And she's like, well, just so you know, it's really unfair to make your babies vegan. Because Paul's vegan.
Oh my goodness.
She's
like the first thing she thought of.
Yeah, she was like, they're going to miss out on pizza with their friends. And I was like, that's what you're thinking of.
Whoa.
Like, out of all of their life choices.
There are a million other considerations, Mother.
And I was like, okay, Mom. Like,
we talked about that with Aaron, though, where like it does feel weird how you meet somebody, how you start meeting people when you're older, and it's like you get close with them really quickly. Yeah. Or you feel a connection to them, and, friends you were previously friends with kind of.
Yeah. I mean, as adults, like it's like a really intentional thing. Like it's not like we all have like tons of extra time and energy. Right. And like, if you meet someone and it's just like, hey, this was great. Like, I mean, it's kind of like dating, but kind friends, of,
you have to put effort into that.
Yeah. It's like, if this isn't like a really good fit and like we both don't value this, like it's the same as someone you're dating. Like, we'll see each other, but like, we don't need this to be like a really, really in-depth thing. And really intentional all the time. I don't know. I think that's okay too, to have like those type of people in your life. I don't know.
It's easier to keep your circle small.
Amen. The older we get.
I know.
I have one question. This is completely unrelated to friends.
Oh man.
It was related to something that may or may not be in your backyard.
Oh. Is there ice plunge?
What? Tell me about the bathtub.
You saw that?
No.
Is it his thirst trap?
A story. Yeah. Tell me about your Instagram.
Mac gets really mad because
I don't get really mad. I'm just like, why are you in your underwear in our backyard?
They want to see.
Freaks everyone out. Nobody wants that.
Do you tell me why? Tell me about the ice plunging.
Well, I started doing it last winter. Honestly,
he's trying to get attention.
No, I really can't remember why I did it. I think I was really originally doing it just for like recovery.
It was Huberman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huberman podcast. I thought you listened to him and he was like, I'm ice plunging, and you're like, I will follow you.
I don't know about at that time. I don't know about at that time if I was, but I did it for like I think 90 days straight.
Oh man.
And yeah, I
just
feel good when I do it.
It's crazy because that thing costs $100, right?
Yeah, the tub.
Okay, the tub costs $100.
$120.
Well, you say that, but like, I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, the things that Paul spends money on, it's like things will have holes in them, and then it's like he's like, we need to go to Tractor Supply. We need this ice plunge.
I don't peg you as a Tractor Supply man.
No, he looked really weird in there. Yeah, everyone was like, why is this man in here?
He doesn't belong here.
No.
Why would you get it? It's right now. It's at 34 degrees. It's cold.
Wow. How long do you stay in?
1 minute.
Do you go underneath all the way?
Yeah, I don't.
Like full head.
Mm-hmm. They say they say the ocean.
No, they don't.
See how many times you can like
squeeze that in.
They say if you go under, and I think it's true, if you go under and then you come up, like the cold on your head kind of masks everything else.
I could see that.
Yeah.
Like you forget about the rest of your body.
You do.
You can't breathe in there. Have you been in one?
Oh,
it's hard to breathe.
I mean, the closest I've been is like
the Y or something.
Jumping into like the Puget. Yeah, the Y. Jumping into like the Puget Sound on like New Year's Day.
What is that?
What is
like
that?
Like near Seattle. Like
Oh,
the water that
yeah.
the little kittens playing around.
I've heard of that. Every episode.
I have not heard about whatever that is. The
Yeah.
Puget?
Yeah, I
Puget
have heard of
Sound.
that.
It's like the body.
Okay.
It's like Seattle isn't quite on the ocean. It's like
Right.
in like a bay area. And like
Okay.
it's called the Puget Sound. My sister was doing. She lived in Seattle at the time, and she was like trying to go in the water fully, and like stay in. Like
Like in the shallow end, or?
Yeah, but like just like when it was really cold.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was like not every day, but it was like quite often.
Mm-hmm.
And so we had started on New Year's Eve, or not New Year's Eve, New Year's Day. And yeah, it was. I won't do it again. I'm good.
You can't breathe in those.
No.
Like it gets so cold. You're like, it like almost makes you like feel like you got punched.
Yeah, and unless you have like a way to get warm immediately after, like you being able to like.
Not supposed to.
No.
You're supposed to.
He won't like shower or anything
No.
after. He's like, I have to stay cold.
Yeah.
Well,
to
then
stay
I'm
cold.
definitely out.
Yeah.
I'll say it's one thing if I can like, you can do like the hot cold. Like I know there's like
sauna
places that do like a like you plunge and then you like go
Right.
sweat and then you plunge and you go sweat and like
Yeah.
I could maybe get into that. But I know you say this too. You get cold easily.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I
like I'm
do.
not, especially if you're just like standing outside. Like
Oh, yeah.
I feel like I would do that in the winter and I would just be done for the day.
Yeah.
Like I would just be constantly like chittering.
I don't know if you
Yeah.
have this, but sometimes I have the fear that I'm never gonna get warm again. You know what I mean? When it's
That's so
really
sad.
cold. Like when we went to your like the run club, I was
Yes.
like, I don't know if I'm gonna be warm again, and I was scared.
And that was like in October. That wasn't even like a December
It was
one.
really sad.
And we were all probably just like not used to it.
No, it
And,
feels
like,
better now.
A little underprepared. I don't know. It's probably our fault.
Now
honestly.
we do have a couple of people that listen to this podcast that are runners. So you just got back from CIM.
Yeah, it was great.
When did you
so
get
many
there? How
thoughts.
many days were you there?
So I got there on a Thursday. The race was Sunday.
Right.
Nice.
So yeah, it was nice to like Sacramento this time of year. For anyone who has not run CIM, I would definitely recommend it.
Yeah.
This year, for some reason, I don't feel like it ran super fast.
Right.
That is a complete blanket statement because I'm sure there's tons of people at PR, but like.
Yeah.
The people I thought were going to didn't.
Yes, and like not that those like a lot of people I know didn't have bad races, just
Right.
they weren't like exactly what they're gunning for.
Mm-hmm.
And I think CIM has this reputation of like if you go there,
You're PR.
you will PR.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. So like,
But
that
it
was
also,
tough.
from what I've heard, and correct me if I'm wrong, it was pretty humid.
Yeah.
And it was
super
surprisingly
unexpected.
hot
Yeah.
for what it was going to be.
Correct. Yeah. Like, and I think people take the humidity for granted. Like, even if it's not hot, like
Hard to
trying to
breathe.
breathe like 98%
Ooh.
humidity is
Wow.
not.
It was that
ideal.
bad?
It was wet.
Andrew
Wet.
said he saw you in the race.
Yeah,
you guys
it
did a
was
little
so nice.
thing
Yeah, like
together.
I started in like the elite corral of
Right.
women, and it was like with CIM, it's like women, elite men, elite women start side by side, and then like the rest of the waves are behind. So like I got
And
out.
what is that standard? Like, how do you get yourself like into an
for
elite?
CIM? Yeah,
Like-
it really depends on the race. Like for CIM, I don't remember exactly what the time was.
Do you have to enter your time when you sign up, and then they're kind of like, okay, you're going to be in the elites, or is it like you're gunning for like,
apply?
yeah, you have to apply for the elites?
Yeah, so most races, it's like they'll have like a section on the website that's like their elite standards and like prize
Okay.
money and all that, and you just
'Cause
have to
I-
like email
okay.
the race director.
Because
That was-
that makes sense. Because I wondered
Yeah.
because there's another woman
Yep.
who runs named Kate Keen.
Uh,
She was really, really
yep, I've
close
heard
to
her
you. I think like 3 minutes ish behind you, but was
Okay.
going for like the same time as you.
Yep, same standard.
Yeah, and you had your name on your bib, which is super cool. And that's how I was like, oh yeah, you're definitely elite. But she
Yeah.
did not. And I
Yeah.
wondered like, oh, I wonder if it was because you were
Yeah.
part of the ambassadorship, or if it's like you did go through and were like, I would
Yeah.
like to be in the elite corral.
Yeah, so I think the elite standard was like, I could be totally wrong. I want to say it was around 240,
Right.
Okay.
maybe a little slower, maybe like 242, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, apply to get in there. And so with CIM, I think like their shtick is like, we want to get as many like people to BQ, or I guess not really BQ because it's too late for that.
Yeah,
But,
it's way too
whatever.
late.
Well, I mean, still,
PR or
yeah.
like run the OTQ standard,
Yeah.
Olympic
Yeah.
trials qualifying standard.
Because they have an entire different ending, right? For like people who are in
peel
that,
off.
in that
Yeah.
standard-ish
Yeah.
time.
Yeah. So then there's also like a seated corral. So it's like the elites, and then behind the elites are like the seated corral, which is like the development crew. So I would say probably between like two, for women, I'm speaking only from, I don't know the
Right,
men's
right, right.
times. But for women, it'd be like 245 to like 255 maybe.
Okay.
So they also get like a little bit of like an advantageous start. So I'm guessing, your name is
They were
Kate,
in there, yeah.
Probably in there, yep. And then everyone else is behind the elites and the seededs. So then, yeah, I'm like, I don't know, maybe a few minutes into the race, and like Andrew comes running by me because he obviously ran faster than me,
Yeah.
but started behind me. So it
Yeah.
was really nice to see. I had another friend my ex-boyfriend from high school was running it, and he like ran past me.
I know who that
like,
is actually.
You do? Oh, because Andrew
took a picture with him and was like, "Oh, I wonder if this will come up on your podcast."
Oh yeah, we
because
can talk
we're
about
friends.
Gabe. I love Gabe.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's how that worked.
So how did you feel when you got to the starting line that day?
I mean, I love talking about races. I could talk about races all
Did you
day.
Really?
Yeah, and whether it's
we
mine
we'd
or
talk
somebody
for
else's.
like 5 minutes.
Do you have like a special like thing you do before, like any sort of weird quirks that like you're like, I have to do this before I race, or it's like bad luck?
Two poops.
Bad day.
Okay.
Multiple poops. Oh, two, Paul? Two.
I'm usually good with 2.
Paul's a last minute guy with races. He stresses
Yeah.
me out. That's one thing I've learned about you, because we have a rule: we don't run the same races.
I really like that. Like
Yeah.
if you're with somebody, to both have you have all that like
stress,
energy, like to have one person that's like grounded on the day is I feel like so helpful.
And there's been times where like I've been in the middle of Chicago when it wasn't going well, and I was like, all I was thinking is like, where's Paul? Like I just need to see him. Like
I need his face. I need his voice.
Yep. And for Detroit, I had his extra gels and he ended up needing them. And it's like, you just never know if like on the day you're going to need something from that person. And so we just have that rule. But I've noticed with all the races that I go to with Paul, he shows up. Yeah.
We late, baby.
It's like,
no.
I'm like an hour before, and he's like 1 minute until the start.
2
rolling
minutes
up.
before Detroit. 2 minutes.
I know. And I'm like, I'm panicking for him.
2 minutes?
Panicking. Even Charlevoix, you rolled up, and I was like, he's not going to make it to the start line. I'm like wondering where he is.
He's going to start like all the way in like the back.
Yeah.
And then chip time is going to be like 10 minutes different than your gun time.
I'm worried about him for Chicago because he's running it. And I'm like, you cannot be late to that.
Just won't sleep.
You're just going to have to be his handler.
No, I can't because he won't be in.
Because I will be really stressed out.
Yeah.
No, I think that's like, and even in general, like, let's say, you run Detroit and like, then afterwards, like it can be about you. Like it's not like you run great and he runs terrible, and then you have to like try and like handle
put
that
yourself at a
mix
different
of
level.
emotions. Like if you have a great day, you can just celebrate it yourself, and if you don't have a good day, you can just wallow and not have to worry about someone else being like, I did so good, like I'm so happy. Like it's, I don't know, that's a healthy thing. So pre-race traditions. I need pizza the night before.
Really?
Interesting.
Yep, because I
And
had.
that doesn't upset your stomach?
No, I was So when I was a freshman,
flies.
I mean, I have them in my house too. They're the pits. We talked about eradicating fruit flies before this started. We won't bore you. But yeah, I was a freshman in high school, and like the senior girl on my team who was like the fastest runner, her name was Jess. Jess, we went out to dinner before like big meets, and Jess always got pizza at Olive Garden. So I was like, oh, they do. At least they used to.
What?
Yeah, I haven't been to Olive Garden in years.
I need to go.
Gotta be
I need a
sketch.
breadstick.
Yep. We should just go after a run sometime.
Honestly.
I feel like with eating nowadays, like there's just so many local options that I'm like, why would I pick like there's other
Even though Aaron, I'm pretty sure just was like, I was just there yesterday.
We'll trick you. We'll trick you.
I would go.
So she always had pizza, so I'm like, if she does it, I have to do it. Like you feel like you get that sometimes, like you see what and I mean there's a healthy maybe balance to this, but you see things other runners do, and it's like, if they're doing that, then shouldn't I do that?
I mean, it's not just runners. There's
everything.
There's an ex-boyfriend that I had from when I was 16 who told me, you don't get clean in the shower if you don't use loofah. And to this day, I believe it. You know what I mean?
And now you use a loofah.
Yeah, I do. Wow. But it's weird the things you take from your childhood.
That, like stick with you. Yeah.
Because you're saying this was in high school. Yeah. She was a high school runner with you.
Yeah, like how many years ago now?
And does she still run?
20.
I don't know. I'm not sure if she still runs, but the pizza has worked for me thus far.
It could be from anywhere, really.
Yeah, I generally like a nice like wood-fired.
Certain toppings or like
not Domino's
like a
or
pepperoni.
little Caesars.
Watch, we're gonna like have like all these people who are gonna be like,
I must eat
Alyssa
pizza.
eats pizza, so I.
And then everyone just like poops their pants.
Right.
Everyone's eating Pizza Hut and they're done.
Yeah, so that's one.
Okay, so the meal.
Normally like a cocktail, just to like. I feel
really?
Like I'm a weirdo. Yeah.
That's actually insane.
Controversial, right?
Yeah, kind of.
I feel like the night before, like I'm just so like in my head and nervous about it. Like I just need something to be like.
But that's actually really not comforting, but like refreshing, because I do feel like there are a lot of athletes who are like, I will not drink at all during my training cycle, and I will not eat sugar, and like they're very strict about all these things. So it's nice to hear someone who's like
balanced a little.
Yeah, has that balance in their life, or isn't afraid.
I'll speak to that a lot. Like, I mean, I'm also a big proponent of like you do what works for you. I'm never going to tell someone that like, oh, you should definitely eat sugar. Like totally, like what works for you as long as it's like healthy, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, we'll talk to like our high school runners and they'll be like, no, like I don't eat donuts because it's junk food. And I was like, you are a growing human being. You are a high schooler. Your body is growing a lot. It needs a lot of energy. You're also like, you know, going and lifting before school in a class, and then you're going and running, like eat a donut. Smash like 'em. It's like you are doing so much, like moderation and like, I don't know. I will never be someone that like cuts things out cold turkey.
And you've never, and you don't have to answer this if you don't feel comfortable, but you've never struggled with like an eating disorder or anything of that sort.
And that makes a huge difference.
Yeah. I just wondered if that was the case.
I will say that like, I think as a runner, I guess I'm speaking as a female runner. I don't know how you feel about all this, Paul.
No, we just eat.
Just eat.
Paul is
good
also
for you.
Just
good for you, Paul. No, I feel like it's impossible to escape that completely.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Right? Like I think as healthy as you are, like as healthy as your relationship is with food, like as a female runner, especially like I've been in it since high school, I've been in it collegiately, like
which I'm sure collegiately changes the game in a certain sense, right?
Yeah, like
and you have male coaches who I don't know how well they push things.
Might understand, might not understand. But yeah, no, I think I wouldn't ever say I've dealt with an eating disorder, but I will also say that like I don't know if there's a difference between saying I have never had an eating disorder, dealt with an eating disorder, but like I still feel like there's parts of the way I view food and deal with food that I would say like could be disordered.
Oh yeah, there's a difference.
Right?
Yeah, that's
like,
fair.
I've never really, I wouldn't have ever said it's like a really big part of my brain or part of my life, but like I would be lying if I was like, I never think about what I eat. I just eat all the time, whatever I want, which, of course. I mean, when you're running high mileage, I don't know if it really matters, but
yeah. Honestly,
just put it all in. And it just finds its way out.
This is accurate.
Yep. So
that drink.
So pizza, cocktail. Yep.
Nice,
sleep. And then I feel like the morning of, I definitely like, I'm a big like bib crinkler.
I do too.
You do too?
Yes, but I was taught that by a college athlete.
Yeah, but you can't crinkle the side that's the chip though, just the other side.
Oh, she just does that.
I crinkle the whole thing,
and it's worked.
Yeah, I crinkle the entire thing because I was told that like then it isn't so stiff
Catch
on
the
you.
wind, didn't it?
Yeah.
Superstition.
That is so funny. Yeah, I always crinkle, and every time people look at me like I'm crazy because I'm just like hee. Yeah, and I just crinkle it all into a little ball and unravel
and
it.
then it looks terrible.
Yeah, it looks horrible.
But then you're like, I'm faster now.
Yeah. I'm like, this will help me.
Okay, so we're the same with that.
Okay.
I don't know. Other than that, like a little mile warm up.
Yeah. You don't do like a little dance before you go at the starting line?
Maybe I should.
Like, do you do some of those jumps? You know, when people are jumping around.
Yeah, little frog hops. But yeah, I feel like I will use that porta potty.
Oh yeah.
Probably 6 or 7 times.
Oh, really?
And sometimes it's not even like sometimes it doesn't happen.
Could be
but like
nothing.
I don't know. My marathon I ran in May.
Right.
I did have to stop for the bathroom in the middle, so now I'm just like.
Was that Toronto?
Ottawa, yeah.
Ottawa.
Okay. Canada.
Yeah, Canada.
It's Canada.
Really?
The Canada Marathon.
And you found it like you were just able to get in and get out of there because.
Yeah, it was quick, but
Paul was like 5 minutes.
You were.
Yeah.
Oh.
Because a lady was in there. They only had one.
I had to wait in
That's
line
bad.
at the half marathon.
That's really
Yeah,
bad.
it was.
I thought he
terrible.
died.
They needed more bathrooms.
Yeah, clearly.
That's not great.
No.
So yeah, that's about it though. I'm pretty relaxed with the traditions. Just those few things.
How did you feel then when you got to the starting line?
Good. So I've been like since September, I've definitely had some like issues. I feel like I haven't like voiced it because I feel like when I say it out loud, it's like, oh, it's real. But I've definitely had some like lower back and then into like hip. I don't know what it is. I probably should get imaging done.
Oh, really? You think it's like pretty bad?
I don't know.
Yeah.
So that I knew that was there, and I'd been training through it and still like able to train through it, still having like quality runs and stuff.
Yeah.
But so I was like, that's there. Hopefully that doesn't really like inhibit me a lot. I'm going to start off at the pace I need to. I was trying to go for the Olympic trial standard, which is 2:37. I've run 2:37:30, so I've come within 30 seconds. So I was like, it's definitely like in my wheelhouse.
Right.
So 13 miles, I was on pace, and then like around like 11 or 12, like it's a hilly course. So every time I like hit an uphill, it was like all right, I can't recruit that muscle how I should be able to.
Okay.
It's like, I didn't have to back it down a ton, but it's like, I just didn't have that little, like, I didn't have anything extra.
Gear.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
So I think I knew like 13 that like it wasn't going to happen. And I mean, like, you know, like there's a difference between being like down on yourself and mentally like just like giving up. But like that was like just a very physical, like I know my body. Yeah. I know like the way this is feeling, the way I'm able to push, like it's just not there.
Yeah.
So that was a little bit of like all right, I still have to run a half marathon and I know this is not going to go like exactly the way I want it to. But there's points where I was like, I could just drop out. And I was like, no.
Really?
So you had like an exit plan?
No. Yes.
Because I've been there and I've had exit plans where I'm like, I could leave here.
Yep. But then you think like I'd have to leave this marathon and be like, I didn't finish. And not that there's anything wrong with not finishing. Like,
no, I mean, it happens. People are just people thing. For sure.
But I was like, even if I have to like slow to a jog, like I'm crossing the line.
Because then you have to figure out logistics, like how do I get back to this, where am I going at this point? Who's gonna bring me somewhere?
And then like all my people are like, where is she? Yeah. Like how do we find her? And
then people are calling the med tent and you're just walking on the sideline like, hey guys, grabbing pizza again.
Medically, I'm stopping for pizza. Yeah.
So you knew by 13 you were like, it's not gonna happen.
And like again, like by the time, so the last half was like I was breathing through my nose. Like I wasn't I wasn't physically struggling. Like I was running at a really like not a really easy pace, but like a pace I've trained at for a long time. But like my legs just didn't have the extra pickup. So I finished and I was like, my heart rate's low. I can tell like I had more in me, just like the body was not there that day. So I'm a little bummed about it because like it would have been really fun to go run at trials.
Of course.
Yeah.
But like I still ran a really fast time. I came really close.
Still an incredible athlete for sure.
And like last cycle, there were like 550 women that qualified and they dropped the standard by 8 minutes.
Right.
Yeah. Because it was 45.
Yeah.
In 2020.
Yeah. And this year only 170 women qualified.
That's insane.
So it was just like, it was a lot harder. Tough. And so hopefully, I don't know. I will probably not run another marathon for a couple years.
Really?
But I already have it in my head that like next.
Are you going to go after the cycle? Okay.
They'll probably.
I wondered if you were going to.
They'll probably leave it at 237, and the cycle will probably open again in a couple years.
Okay.
So maybe we do it again.
What do you think? Was it more devastating to get 30 seconds off, or was it like which one felt to you like more sad?
Worse. Yeah. I think the 237:30 was a big PR. So I was like, I'm pumped.
Right.
It was like I came that close. I didn't think I was going to come that close. Sweet.
Yeah.
I don't think there was any negative there. But then this one was,
because you had been telling me that you were in good shape, like 235, 236 shape.
And I still
incredible
believe that.
long runs.
With the exception of little hippie back here.
Right.
I think that's the case. How do you two feel about the marathon distance? You both clearly run them. Do you see yourselves being like lifelong marathoners? Do you enjoy running 26?
Oh, she's interviewing us.
We'll start with Paul.
Yes.
Yes.
I think it's because I'm not very great at the short stuff yet, and I need to get there. But I have done some longer runs where the marathon sometimes feels kind of short.
He's an ultra runner.
Yeah, I've done ultras.
You ran across the state.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to do an episode on that one.
You just like tell the story.
Yeah.
I would love to listen to that. It was a nightmare.
It was a nightmare for me too.
Yeah.
I was a dick
bystander.
I was a dick when I got to the end.
He wouldn't let me.
Not
that I wanted
didn't want to. No.
He wanted
but
just your thing. Yeah.
I like it because it's like almost the perfect distance where you feel like you could die, but you're not going to, and you'll be all right.
Probably not. Yeah.
Some people have died.
And I mean, you're also like you've run a couple of them.
Yes, I think 6 or 7.
So you've run a lot.
Yeah.
But like, I still feel like you still have like quite a big upside.
Yeah.
Like you've got some things to like to cut down, figure out, like hone in.
To me, for me, this is like last year. Even though I've been running since 2018, I've only been training since last year. So this is like year 2 for me.
Well, there's a big difference between running
and training.
And that's a
training.
Huge difference. What about you? Marathons?
Yeah.
I've only raced marathons. I've never done a half.
Oh yeah.
I've never done a 10K.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
I have done successfully like 3 5Ks, I'd say.
Okay.
But I've done 2 5Ks, 1 or 3, I guess, if you count last Thanksgiving.
Yep.
And I don't understand. I just don't. Like
this is it?
Like I went out at I PR'd my mile time in my 5K.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh shoot, like in my head, it's hard to like do those short distances because like my body's like, wait, you have 25 more miles to go.
Conserve.
Yeah. And it's like, I don't understand that. And at the end, I'm like, shoot, I still have a lot of energy.
Yeah.
And so I don't get that yet, but I do like the marathon.
And like for 5K too, unless you're like training yourself in like that specific, like in those energy systems.
Yeah.
Like, if you're just training for a marathon, like you might run a fast 5K, but like to run a really fast 5K, like you got to be doing like specific
those wheels.
things.
Yeah.
Right?
And
yeah.
I
like,
also not joke around necessarily, but like, there's a girl we run with and you know her, Danielle. Mm-hmm. And I've said to her a few times when we've run that like, she has this thing that I don't think I have. And I'm not sure I think it'll take me years to get, where people who have been running for a while have like that thing that they can break through mentally, where like when it gets tough, they're like, I understand it's suffering until you're done.
It's a
I don't
it's
have
a habit,
that.
right?
Yeah, I don't have that. Like the marathon, I get it.
Like you're still baby.
Yeah, like I can run a marathon and like I understand that I'm going to struggle when I get to mile 20. Like I get that. I understand the conserve and then struggle, but like I don't get it in a 5K struggling for 3 miles.
No, because when we were at the Tracksmith event, like our heat, my heat, your heat, people were finished and they're like tired, but they're, hands on knees are okay. The elite kids finished and they were deleted.
They fell.
Right? They were
and
deleted.
I'm like, no, I got done. I was like, I could have done that again, but at the same time.
Yeah, to sustain that pace like that. Yeah, that takes like practice.
Yeah, and like Danielle has that where it's like her and I can run and like I think in
party foul. I'm gonna get another one.
I think in certain aspects, like there are times where I'm like, I think sustainably, like I could run an ultra and I don't know if Danielle would be there, but she's faster than me because she has that gear where she can kick it up and like be in that really uncomfortable position. And I'm like, like I settle into things. Like I can settle into a 7-minute pace and I'm like, I'm chilling. Like I can chat with you. We can have a great time.
Yep.
And she like doesn't settle in. She just keeps getting faster. And I'm like, wait, why are we doing that?
Yeah.
Just
like,
stay with me.
Like we'll do a tempo and she's like, every mile gets faster. And I'm like, but it's comfortable at this tempo. Yeah.
Please.
But I do like the marathon because I think I've kind of started to figure it out a little bit. And then I've obviously started early working with like a coach.
That makes a huge difference. Like you said, training versus running. And like with the marathon too, or with ultras, I guess, there's just so much that you can do. Like, you run Chicago and there's like 4 different things you're like, could have done that better, could have done this different.
Right.
Want to
you
do
have a
more
lot
of
of time.
And then you're going to run another. Hi, Katie.
No, you don't need to be in the star.
So
she does it
cute.
every
Once
time.
again, we should have showed them up front.
I like it. Yep.
Oh, she
Cat
wants
lady.
attention.
Remember you want a kitten?
Yep. Now, oh my God, her face is so pretty.
She's a possum.
You're so little.
Okay.
It does make me want a kitten though.
That's getting edited out.
Bye. There's just me cat talk on every episode.
No, literally, because strays have come to the window like 3 of the episodes.
Yeah.
Oh, please.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Give
We
me
took one
that.
in, so that was a disaster.
Yeah.
Never again.
Yeah.
But like, like with the marathon, there's just like, no matter how many you run, I feel like there's always something that maybe this is every race too, but something that you learn or take from it. But marathon, there's 26 miles of things to learn, right?
Oh, yeah.
There's just like 100 million things you can take. So like, you both had races this fall, and I feel like we're all kind of in the same boat. We all had good days.
There were PR days.
Yes,
like they were good days.
They were good.
Like people would say they're good.
Yeah, everyone else around you's like, you ran so well.
Yeah, and you're like, I'm like, I don't want to talk about it.
Correct. It's like, I don't know, just like I think again, all in the same boat with that. Like there's lots of things to be learned and like things I'll do differently next time.
Oh yeah.
How are you after the race? Like, do you want to like not talk to people?
Oh man.
Because Mac,
I will.
Like,
if I even do a hard workout and Paul tries to touch me, I'll be like, do not touch me. I'm very much like, I don't want people to touch me. Don't talk to me. I need to digest and like.
I need some food.
Yeah. I don't want to eat.
No.
My stomach hurts so bad.
So you're like I just need a second to like let all my systems like normalize a little bit.
And I also need like a minute to be upset with myself. Like I have to always go over it with my coach. He's like, okay, you're upset. You need to stop that. Take 24 hours to be happy about whatever you just did. And then we can talk about what happened.
And then we can talk about change and what's different.
Because I'm immediately my worst critic.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Aren't we all? But yeah, some people worse than others.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like and maybe this is like me just being like a people pleaser too. Like, I don't know. Like especially if there's people that come and watch you, I'm always like, I have to be fun. And like, I have to be like,
so do you hug them and stuff?
Oh yeah. Yeah. So I finished and like, like they had the elites go through like the drug testing area and they pulled some people and like,
oh really?
Basically it's like, they only pull the people that like finish high up or get prize money. So like I wasn't going to get pulled.
I would throw up if they pulled me.
Oh my gosh.
Just because that's a whole nother thing you have to do.
They ask you to pee.
What if you don't have to pee?
I'm dehydrated. I can't pee right now.
Also, like I'm trying not to fall over.
Yeah, stop it.
Excuse me.
I didn't do drugs. Yeah, I'm fine. Like you can tell, I'm fine.
Are you joking me?
I know. So yeah, walk out of there and then like I went to find. So my husband came to watch, and then my sister and her partner came to watch. And then a couple other friends were there. So like I found them pretty quickly. Just cause like, I mean, when I finished, there weren't like a ton of people finished yet. So it wasn't as hard to find people, you know?
Oh yeah, that is nice.
It makes it a little easier.
Did you have to walk a long way after you?
I chose to walk back to the hotel just cause I didn't want to Uber. So
but like you weren't stuck in a crowd, were you?
No, not at all. Yeah. I feel like CIM compared to like Chicago is a lot more like, it's not a major, right? It's like,
it seems like it, but it's
like
not.
It's like the step below.
Yeah.
It's bigger than like maybe a lot of things in Michigan, but like
for
it's
sure.
not huge. So yeah, I did that. And then, I mean, yeah, after that, like I feel like my body wasn't super terrible.
Really?
Even now, like, I mean, so I'm taking, this is a whole thing, but like I'm taking 2 weeks off of running, which is, I don't think I've taken more than 2 days in probably like.
Even after other marathons?
After my last marathon, I took like 2 days off.
Why?
That wasn't a good idea.
Yeah, I feel like it's just like you should at least like, whoa.
I think I was so I was just like, I need to keep going.
Yeah, you didn't want to like lose fitness. You have that like make believe.
Such an irrational fear, right? So yeah, I haven't taken more than 2 days off probably in years. I don't know how many years. So I was like, you know what? Clearly like this whole hip posterior thing, like my body just needs a reset.
Oh,
so we're
for
taking
sure.
2 weeks off of everything.
Nice.
Next week I'm gonna start swimming. I don't know if you two have ever swum before.
I have. I did a triathlon, so I did have to swim.
So I bought a swim cap and goggles.
Nice.
Put them on today.
I'm dead.
Terrible.
I'm dead.
I should have
Please
brought
take
them.
pictures, please.
Brought them and like.
Are you gonna go to like GRCC to swim or?
I'll go to the Y.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll do that for a couple weeks. So please,
so everyone
please
go to the Y
don't
and
go
see
to
her.
the Y pool. They have like viewing windows up top.
I hope everyone's there like watching you.
Yeah, no, please.
They won't even be able to tell.
No, it won't look like me. It'll look different.
But congrats. We were proud of you.
Yeah, we were really proud.
Thank you. And yeah, I think I'm in a place with it where like I'm able to be really proud of like the couple years of like really intentional work I put into it.
Yeah.
Like it was a lofty goal. Like I'm proud of myself for like making it public because sometimes I like to keep things to myself. It's like, I don't know, sharing your goals with people is always a little freaky. And I'm just talking from like a running standpoint, but in all of life, you know? So yeah, I'm glad marathoning is over for a little bit. We're gonna get back into lifting heavy. We're gonna get back into like faster
well,
things.
you are like one big ball of muscle. That's the word on the street.
Muscle. Yeah.
That's literally how people describe you.
Yeah.
What?
A ball of muscle.
Really?
Yeah.
I like that description.
From like the outside, they're like, oh, Alyssa, you have that big ball of muscle. Well, because when I saw you for the first time, I didn't know you.
Yeah.
But I was volunteering at a race, and they were like, oh yeah, like that's Alyssa.
She runs.
I think it was She Runs or something.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know who I talked to after. I was like, I guess I expected her to be like short and like not muscular. And I was like, that's kind of cool.
She's a big lady.
Like you're like muscular and like
tall. No, I'm not
tall.
I'm not your average distance runner.
It was cool.
I once had this was like this summer. I was like with family, like extended family, and I had an uncle that was like, "Aren't you a little big to be a distance runner?"
Stop.
I was like,
we love a weird uncle. Like why?
I was like, yes, but like, also, you can't say that to ladies.
And also like, can you run? I'm sorry, what?
I mean, maybe I don't know anything about like the elite corrals, but are a lot of the women pretty short?
Oh yeah, I'm big.
Really?
I'm big. Yeah, like if I'm in an elite corral, I'm almost always a head taller than almost everybody.
She's really tall.
Yeah. That's especially
like you're elite, like what, 5'10"?
Yeah, and with elite distance runners, like it's like they're all tiny, which makes sense. You have less to carry around.
True.
That is
true.
No, but my dad was 6'6", so like I got some of that height, right?
That's like more than a foot taller than I am.
Yeah.
I'm really short.
Yeah, how tall are you?
5'3" sometimes.
5'3". I like the whisper.
If I pick her up,
well, I say sometimes because sometimes I'm 5'2", 9.
on the day.
It does, honestly.
It doesn't matter.
You want to know what's also funny is so Paul and I went for a run and we were talking about having you on the podcast. And I was like, you want to know what's funny? it's like we don't know much about you because you're kind of reserved.
Oh yeah.
Like I know you from like running with you the past, I don't know, couple months from the run club, but
we
like
talk a lot about running.
Yeah, like you're pretty reserved when it comes to other things. And I was like, but it's kind of nice because like from an outside standpoint, like you're cool. Like you're a cool elite, like you're an attractive like woman who runs and is super fast. But I was like, you know what? It's kind of nice that like every once in a while you have like those awkward runner tendencies. And I'm like, and it brings you down to like life and earth. Normal. And I'm like, oh, okay, there we go.
we are like, same.
Oh yeah, she's still a runner. I get that.
But you mentioned you were, because I can kind of see with you, were you kind of a people pleaser where you're not trying to like say anything wrong?
Rock the boat.
Were you always like that, or has that been like even as a kid, or were you a little more wild?
No, definitely not wild. No, I've always been pretty straight laced and like pretty like, yeah, I think like reserved is a pretty good word.
Yeah.
Like if you know, like if I know you well,
yeah,
I won't be as reserved. But yeah, like I don't know. I feel like in a lot of public situations, I'll like just put on like I'll put on like a face a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know a better way to say it, but like, yeah, I don't like get really personal and really close with people unless I like know, which again, like I know you guys, but like we've never talked about a lot besides running.
Right.
I know.
So this is great.
Well, it comes up, you know, a lot.
Which is like really
yeah.
common, which I have another running question, but
go ahead.
We can wait till later too.
No, go ahead.
Okay. I want to know how the mile planning is going. Have we closed streets yet? Do we have a route? Like
we have a route.
Yeah, it's on Butterworth, right?
It's the route you came up.
Right?
Yeah,
okay,
you come up with. I'm going to be on the news today.
What?
Wait,
what?
Thursday.
What are you
Thursday.
talking
It's
about?
Thursday.
You were already on the news.
No, I wasn't.
When?
It didn't air.
Oh,
it airs
I thought
Thursday.
Okay,
oh my gosh.
Yeah.
What news or what channel?
Fox 17.
Oh my gosh.
Does anyone have cable?
No, he said it's going to be on the internet too.
Oh, okay.
Because that's what Aaron said. Aaron's like, no, I don't have cable. And I was like, and Elliot, who is the guy who runs, or I don't know, he interviews. He's like, I don't have cable either. So, but
Yep.
Society Track Club will be on the news.
Yeah.
By the time this podcast.
Yeah, and I'm wearing the jacket you got me.
Oh yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
And then what's funny is I told Erin about my new jacket, and so she went out and bought the same jacket, a different color.
I saw the pink one she had on the other night. It was really nice. That's a great. It's a great layer.
Fantastic.
10 out of 10.
But she came and like recorded me on the news, and it was pretty cool. But they asked me about the
really
mile.
Cool.
I know. I was like, oh, I hope I'm okay, because they were asking me so many questions, and I was like. But
you're like nervous to watch it air because you're like, I'm pretty sure that like 95% I'll be like, I'm proud of that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Proud of it. And there'll be that 5% you're like, oh no,
I know.
Why'd you include that part?
And so the city wrote me off as like your event and date is good. Like you're good permit wise, but I'm waiting to hear back from the road closure from the city and stuff. And I have like 1,700 more things of paperwork to fill out. And also sponsors are a huge thing.
All right. So I'm assuming the two of you on the day of will be like not running it.
Right.
Yeah.
Like,
not running it. Not running it.
Like,
yeah.
Or running it, but not running it.
Yeah.
Like
we'll be
charge.
running around like chicken with our head cut off for sure.
So yeah, so you've done like the closures, like you have the run sign up all posted.
Yep. Yeah. We've gotten some signups already.
I mean, I'm going to say this to anyone that might listen to this. That is a high school friend.
Oh yeah.
Or like, I mean, anyone, like if you want to run a race that's like kind of different and not a 5K and not a marathon and not a half marathon
or track.
And it does have a downhill. It does have a downhill.
Correct. And I am not a big track runner. Like I'd much rather run a track or
sure.
a road mile than a track mile. You should, it's like what? Grand Rapids Mile.
Yeah. Grand Rapids Road Mile.
Right?
Yeah.
You should look into it. Maybe there'll be a link somewhere.
There will be.
There'll be a link.
And also, I was going to talk to you because you obviously coach.
Yes.
And we're planning on giving high school and like local teams and groups money if they'll bring out athletes to cheer.
Great. Yeah.
Yeah, to cheer and chill because I know it is part of like track season already. So obviously if coaches are like, don't race this, we have other things going on.
Come support.
Yes, exactly.
And like come watch hopefully some really like fast people race.
Oh
right?
yeah. I mean,
fun.
It sounds like Nora, who is, you've met her.
Yep.
She's also part of our run team. She's actually sneaky fast, sub 3 marathoner.
I feel like I've seen. Yeah. I mean,
she was on the Windy City Runners, some sort of elite Chicago
women's. Yeah.
It's not just women. I think it's men too. In that group.
No. There was a women's only one she was talking about.
Okay. And apparently a men's one.
Maybe, yeah.
Too.
She knows all the runners.
Yeah, she knows runners, but they're coming down.
Oh,
yeah,
really?
they talked about coming down.
Cool.
Yeah, which will be like a pretty good group. And then,
up.
I mean,
it's
kind of over though.
I say kudos to you two for like, I mean, starting something from scratch.
It's all her.
It's all Mac. No kudos to Paul.
None.
Paul is just the support system.
Paul reminds me to post on the social medias because I'm very bad about it.
Paul.
Very bad at it.
But yeah, I don't know, like starting something from scratch that you've never done before. Yeah. Like you've never dabbled in race directing.
No. Barely dabbled in running, honestly.
I don't know, and I mean, the second you told me about it, I was like, this is going to do well.
I was just like, this is like a good idea.
Yep. People will enjoy this.
And so, I just really like people. I'm a people person.
I want to bring them all out. I think it, like the way you've like already kind of put it out there is like not intimidating. Like I feel like sometimes a mile people will be like, whoa, I run marathons, what is this mile junk? And I feel like the way you've already put it out there is very like, there will be an elite mile. There'll also be a kids mile
and like a general public mile. Like you're not going to race with the elites. Correct. Like you can just chill and it's okay. You can still win money. Like put yourself. I also feel like it's nice that like for me, I feel like before I got into running, I was so weirdly not involved in the running community, but also I knew a lot of runners because I was married to a cross country runner for Grand Valley.
That'll do it.
So like,
whoa, you were. Okay.
Yeah. So like,
we'll talk about that.
FYI. Yeah. But he, So like, I went to Ethan Barnes' wedding. So like, I know a lot of these like elite runners in a weird way that it's like, hey, like come out and race this because I know you're fast and like, but we're friends. And I also really don't know if you're fast, but I do.
But you are.
Yeah. So it's like kind of like one of those things where I feel like, and also it's been actually really nice. And I said this on the news segment, like the Run GR race director and like the race director for Rivertown races and like the Seaway Zealand race weirdly have been not weirdly, it's been amazing, but they've been really supportive and been like, how can we help you? Like, let's organize this together. Like, here's some resources. Cool. Here's some people I know. Here's like numbers that I have, an email list. Yeah, they all want to help each other because it's like
the more. I mean, I feel that way like with just in general with races, with run clubs, like with any sort of like run community thing in Grand Rapids is like the more we can give people opportunities to compete, to run with other people, to train with other people, like the better it's gonna be. And it's just like. It has exploded in the last couple of years.
Oh yeah.
Like being around the running scene for a while, like it did not look like this a few years back.
Okay. I'm glad that like because I don't know, but I felt like it was like
wild.
Boomed. And
because you had the Sweat Net Run Club.
Yeah.
And there wasn't like huge turnout.
And I mean, there like Lion Street's been around for a while and like.
And even Lion Street, when I started going, which was only 2 years ago, it was like 12 people.
Yeah. And like, Hills and Stairs has also been around. There's clubs that
they've been around.
Run GR has been around for who knows how long. Yeah. But like, I just feel like it's become so much more accessible and it's been become so much more of like a social thing too. Like people realize it doesn't have to be just like, we're just going to march and have no fun. Like it's
like people are just chilling, having a good time.
Yeah. It's like, it's life-giving.
We're all hanging out outside of that.
Yeah.
And making friendships.
Exactly. Yeah. And doing podcasts. So it's great. Yeah.
So, other than running, like
you deflected and I think that was intentional.
I don't think she did.
I think she was. She's we talked about she was very reserved.
Oh yeah, I will. True. My husband and I play a game where
you play games.
Oh yes, we do.
Noted. She plays games.
I am fun. Very
I did not believe you from that. I am fun. That was like a robot.
Very
don't worry.
Fun.
The fun is had.
Yeah. No, what were you saying, Mac?
We play this game where like when we hang out with people, we call it a game. It's not really a game.
You have to have a game. You're like, I'm hanging out with people, let's play a game.
Our game is like we'll go and hang out and we have to be the ones that ask more questions than like talk about ourselves. So I feel like whenever I'm with people, I did notice that
you're the only guest who's actually asked us questions and I'm like, what's going on here? Why are we interviewing?
So I will intentionally, I'd rather talk about other people than talk about myself.
But you're interesting.
Oh, thank you.
Because you're also like,
got some weird
Paul refers you as mysterious.
Yeah.
I like
He's
that.
like,
keep you guessing.
That is true. So other than, obviously you're passionate about running. Like, obviously, that makes sense.
Yep. Like, I'd say sometimes more of my personality than it should be, probably. Yeah. Which is why taking time off is like, what?
Yeah. So what else are you passionate about? Like, what other things would you be like, oh, like this is like something that I'm like, this kind of
makes me really happy.
Or what do you like doing in your free time?
Yeah, like what do you do in free time when you're not running? Like what are you really passionate about? Obviously, like you're close to your family, I'm assuming, from just picking up on things.
Yep. I'll start there. That's a good place to start. Yeah, I have one younger sister who lives right now. She's like living all over the place. Like she did like a month in a couple months in Europe this summer, a month in Oregon. Then they lived in Vancouver for a month, and now they're here for a month. And then she's gonna go do like a big backpacking trip somewhere for a month, which is great to have flexible work.
Yeah.
And then another sister who's in Grand Rapids who has a baby. I do have a nephew, as I forgot.
Right.
I forgot that earlier.
Which one has the cool greenhouse?
That is my sister-in-law, Hannah.
Okay.
Okay, so that's in-law.
My husband Daniel's sister. Yeah.
Okay.
Which is really sick.
Yeah. It was pretty cool.
Somewhere on my Instagram, but it's like she built this greenhouse like by hand out of windows.
Your Instagram
is wild.
It's like
I try.
No, it's the best because it's like you as a person are just like one of those people who like you're drawn to, like, right? Like people want to follow you. They want to like know more about you. But then like your Instagram, you just post, you're like, I don't care if anyone likes this. You're like, one like, I'm posting it.
I'm going to post it all day long.
Yeah. It's like all of a sudden it's like 29 billion photos from Alyssa.
Oh, that is my life. I have some of our kids will be like, you'll shoot a wedding and then I just click because I know it's just going to be like 100
a lot.
Like, it's for me.
Yeah. You can tell it's for you, but I kind of like love that because then you're like the only get ready with me post I'll ever like was like I think it must have been your nephew like getting ready for like a marathon, and I was like, yeah, I know it's cringy. Like the get ready with me's are cringy.
You do you. I'm all about that. But yeah, family, super close to my family. My dad passed away a few years ago. So I feel like since then, like not that family wasn't a big deal before then, but like afterwards, you've lost a parent. Yeah.
Correct.
I don't know. For us afterwards, I feel like it was a big. I feel like losing a parent or a sibling can like do a lot of different things to a family. Yeah. But for us, it really brought us a lot closer.
Were your parents married when you lost your father?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Mom and dad like always did everything together, and then dad was killed in a motorcycle accident.
Wow.
So it was really sudden, but like
local.
Yeah. Yep. Local in Grand Rapids, but like we had there was no bad blood. There was nothing like left unsaid. There was no like questions, like obviously terrible, but like it was also like I finally got to the point where I like don't talk about it and cry because I'm a big crier. It's like there's a chance.
Your family's opposite of mine. We bottled it up and then we don't talk about it. So that's
differences.
I'm jealous.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's definitely
for the most part.
Again,
was he killed by a drunk driver?
No, just. I don't know if it was distracted or but I don't know. I don't.
Motorcycles scare me.
Oh, I will never. Yeah.
No.
Nope.
No.
I'll never. Yeah. I don't have a lot of anger about it because like I don't know about you guys. Do you have moments when you're driving where it's like I could have hit someone just then. Like I was not paying attention. I could have hit someone. Like I understand that. Like
every time I get in the car, Max is terrified.
Yeah.
I'm so terrified. I hate it. I just want to chill in the car. And I can't because I have to watch him.
She's got to pay attention.
I know.
So that's like
I'm sorry.
really close. Yeah. No, and I mean, I feel like, like it's hard to know, like you say you're sorry and like, it's like, it is what it is. Like life has been like forever altered because of it. But like you find good after that. And
maybe you're in, cause I lost my mom too in 2012 and it's like, you just move on. Like the next day is Wednesday and I have to do things.
That's always been a weird thing at funerals where you're just like, it's weird when someone passes away and you're at their funeral or you're like trying to like, especially family members and you're like, okay, we just have to keep going.
Well, yeah. Cause the people that like attend the funeral, like let's say it's a Tuesday, Wednesday for them is pretty normal.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Whereas like for the people, it's like, it's like all of a sudden it's like a normal Wednesday, but like all of a sudden like there's so much like love and like attention that goes into like supporting a family right around that funeral time.
Right.
But then you give it a couple weeks and it's
and
like
no one's there anymore.
Quiet, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So it's just like a void.
I feel like maybe it's the same for you, but I feel like with my mom, it's so long ago, but I feel like I'm still processing it where it's like, I don't even know if I've handled it right. I don't know if I've gone about it completely wrong because I haven't gone to therapy. But
okay, I'm the same. Yeah. I feel like every day I'm like, should I have gone to therapy?
Yeah, I don't
know.
What are you supposed to do?
Yep. I mean, there's no right way to go about it. I'm sure that would have like probably helped in some ways. But yeah,
Neither of you have gone to therapy.
No.
At all?
It's bad. Yeah, no.
You guys are always sad.
We're monsters.
Because I'm always sad. And I go to therapy for like the last 5 years and I'm still sad. I can't imagine coping with it on my own.
Because you deflect a little bit like I do.
Oh, I feel like we got some similar traits for sure. Do you still feel like you think about, Like, how often would you think about your mom?
Weirdly, not as much, because my brother died too, and not as much as him. But yeah, often. Sometimes I'll actually forget her birthday. I'll forget the day she died. Yep. But then it'll just come up like.
And I mean, 2012.
Yeah. 12 years ago.
I mean, that feels like a lifetime ago.
It does, but when you look in our head, it's like 2012. I was just like in college.
But your brother was 2020.
Huh?
Your brother was 2020,
okay,
so obviously that's more recent.
Yeah. I forgot what you asked though.
I think I asked about like, do you think about it?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
You said more your brother.
It's just random.
Yeah.
It'll just be like, whoa, why is it happening now?
A certain song or like.
Sure. Yeah. Actually, yeah.
Yeah, that does it to me. If I want it, like.
What kind of music?
Do you want to cry some days?
Yeah, and I play Martina McBride. I'm gonna love you through it, and that is my song.
You know your cry songs.
Like I will turn that if I'm like I'm not a crier. Mm-hmm. See, that's the difference. Like I don't really cry much.
She cries during like dead animal videos.
Well, that's different. If you send me purposely again TikToks of dead animals, I'm gonna cry. That's sad. But for the most part, like if I'm gonna cry, like if I'm really sad about something, it takes a lot for me to like actually cry, or I'll go alone and like go somewhere to cry.
She has like a cancer playlist.
Yeah, I have a cancer playlist.
Oh my God.
Well, because my best friend growing up had cancer, and I spent a lot of nights in the hospital, so it kind of like brings me back to that, and I instantly start crying.
Because there's days where it's like that's all that's gonna feel good is like if I just like
go
in my room and I cry. Yep, I have like 3. So there's like a.
What's one of them?
So I am not a Taylor Swift fan.
See, I figured you weren't.
No, I'm not a Swiftie.
You know her music pretty well though.
Well, everyone knows it, but I'm not like, oh my gosh, I need to go to her concert, and I'm a Swiftie, and like I love everything
She will
about
come
her.
up on your Spotify rap for no reason.
Yeah, that's true. She purposely got on there.
I think there's a difference. Like
you
can like. I like
there's
like songs and like I love Taylor. There's
you're either like I'm ride or die, or like if she comes on I'm gonna sing, but like I'm not, Or
there's like like she'll release a new album or something or a new single, and like 20 different people in your will like share it to their stories.
Her birthday today.
And I'm not one of those.
And I didn't know that.
How do you know that?
Because all the girls were posting on Instagram.
Why do you follow so many girls, Paul?
Happy birthday, Taylor.
Oh, this is a good question. Alyssa, well, first I want to hear the song.
Yes, my cry song right now is Marjorie by Taylor Swift. It's not a well-known one.
Oh my gosh.
It basically talks about like her mother,
I thought that song was called Majority.
Majority.
Is it not? That shows that I'm a Swiftie.
I'm telling you, she has problems with spelling and pronouncing people's names.
And Taylor Swift. Yeah.
I thought it was Majority. I know the song, but I thought it was Majority.
Yes.
Wait, what was your maiden name then?
Penning.
I only knew that from.
I didn't know that.
A post you put on.
Yeah.
And I was like,
it's a lot easier.
Kind of just, you got married pretty young.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, we're getting off track.
No, this is on track because I have another question that's going on. You've been married for a long time.
10 and a half years. Yeah, right? Like we were right out of college.
Mac made it 1.
Different
people. Different strokes for different folks, okay?
Different scenarios. No, so we got married right when we graduated college. We both went to Grand Rapids Christian High School. Mm-hmm. And we both went to Calvin College.
Were you friends in high school?
We both ran track, but we were not friends, no. Okay. We did not run the same circles.
No, because you had a boyfriend named Gabe.
Named Gabe, yes.
Yeah, who's a pretty good runner now.
He's a very good runner, yeah. He was also in high school and in college. Went to the same college as Gabe. I went to the college I did because Gabe went there. And that is not a good reason to choose a college.
It is
my friends. Don't do it.
My parents went,
high schoolers.
My parents wouldn't let me.
Yeah.
I had a boyfriend who went to Central, and they're like, Western or die.
Go somewhere else. Yeah. Like live your own life. And if you are meant to be together, you're going to figure a way to make it work. So we went to the same high school, and then college, like maybe I think end of freshman year, we started dating. He also ran track there. I don't know. Oh yeah, then we got married right after college.
Okay.
And like I would say it's I don't think I would ever tell anyone. Again, this is like you do what works for you, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think I'd ever recommend like get married at 22. So,
bruh.
So I
preaching to the choir.
I know. So I say that, and like I am very happy that that I did get married at 22, and that this is how my life has gone.
But you have obviously been one of those couples who have grown together. That's not a common thing because from 20
to 32
to 30,
what the heck?
I have made the most changes in my life from 26 to 28.
the late 20s, not even your early 20s.
No, my early 20s, I was wandering around.
I was
floating. I was like an iceberg.
I was a little cloud.
Life was the Titanic, and it whacked me.
It whacked me good. So yeah, again, so you clearly understand like getting married young life.
Oh yeah.
Like you said, just different situations.
He's been alone his whole life.
He's been alone his whole life.
Until he met me. He was just waiting for me, honestly.
I'd like to think that.
I pretend but that was my other question to her, was I was going to ask if she was a jealous person. Because obviously you've only been with one person, and I'm one of those people where like, okay, I'm not psychotic, but I will say like, I don't hide anything in the sense of like, I try my best. And I was telling Caro today when we went for a run, like the best thing you can do for yourself is not like trying all these different like crazy methods to have like a perfect life, like getting enough sleep, eating clean. Like it's just being authentically and genuinely yourself. Like that is all you can do. That is the only pressure you should put on yourself, is to just be you.
And like,
which is enough.
And there's like certain traits that are portrayed as like negative. And, like, no, but like be honest about it.
Exactly.
Like again, like we all have a jealous part of us. We all have like a competitive part of us. Like
just embrace it. And like if it becomes unhealthy, work on it.
Yes.
But like if you pretend that it's not there, how are you going to work on it and make it better?
That is a beautiful thing.
100%. And so I will be the first one to say that I am a jealous person. Like,
because we're humans.
Yeah, we are totally humans.
We like our things to be our things.
Exactly. Like it is mine and mine is mine. Yeah. And what is yours is also mine.
Except I don't need the ice plunge tub.
No,
you can have the
that is yours. That is all yours.
But yeah, so my partner Daniel, he's gonna hate these.
Is he on social media at all?
No,
because he's always tagged as
Daniel
picture
McElhenney.
taker.
Yeah,
Daniel.
like hashtag Daniel McElhenney photography.
He never actually takes it.
Never.
He takes great pictures of you.
He does. He's
crazy great.
He learned.
He's been taught very well.
Yeah.
Of course,
he's a pro now. But yeah, like he hates being the center of attention. Does not want anything to do with social media. He's on Twitter, or
he does exist
X
though.
Now. Like he loves like all the sports things on Twitter or X.
Okay.
So that's about it. But does not want anything to do with social media.
Okay.
He also would say he's a person that doesn't have a lot of friends, doesn't have the need or want to have a lot of friends.
Sure. He's a guy though too. So again, those relationships are easier to maintain because you don't have to talk all the time.
Just a couple,
right.
a couple close guy friends. I always mocked him in high school, like, well, not in high school, but after that, like I don't think he talked to a girl all high school long, which is fine.
Is he still totally like pretty quiet and reserved now to this day?
Yeah. So like, I don't know. He is never like, he is like just such a good person. Like he treats me so well. He's like, I'm always a priority. He's like never given me a reason to ever be jealous. Like I don't know. Like he does. That's just not.
It also helps when he's not on Instagram.
Yeah. No, he's not on social media.
Correct.
Yeah.
Like following a bunch of
like I
bodies.
think that I definitely would have jealous tendencies.
Yeah.
If he was a different person. Like I don't know. He really like, again, prioritizes me and does not.
Does he ever get jealous with you? Because again, obviously I've said like you're an attractive elite runner and like he's in the background.
I think
sometimes.
I just have to be like honest with him about like if I have someone approach me, I'll be like, hey, this is a funny thing that happened today.
Right.
Let me just tell you about it. And I think at this point, just kind of like laugh about it. Or,
I mean, I also feel like, and I'm a hypocrite when it comes to it, but I feel like there's such a different thing with like men and women. Like,
do you mean?
Tell us more.
Like, for me, I feel like there's such a difference between like women get approached by men.
Oh yeah.
Pretty often, right? Like that just happens. Like like men are kind of relentless and like they'll have a million strikes and they will pretend they're never striking out.
Keep going.
But like a woman doesn't necessarily. There's only a few women in the world. I think there's a certain type of women who will approach men. I just don't think
takes some like confidence, right?
I just don't think a lot of men approach women.
Yeah.
So when like a woman is interacting with a man,
you're like, whoa.
I'm like, what did you do? Like you invited this.
Paul.
Yeah. I'm like, you invited this. I'm like, women just aren't friendly unless there's an invitation.
This was you.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I guess I have a unique situation, I guess. And And again, like, I mean, I feel like. Yeah, and again, in his role, like he was a high school teacher.
Yeah.
And now he's a high school assistant principal and coach. Yeah. And so I feel like he like is very cognizant of like how he carries himself and like how he's perceived.
Which
and
he
how
has
he
to,
behaves.
obviously, yeah.
Yeah. Again, like we didn't talk about this on camera, but like this might be a little bit of a PG episode of 2-pack tape.
Toned down.
Which is fine.
Yeah, there may be some...
I don't even think it's toned down. It just seems natural. Like,
it's
just naturally... No. It's just naturally
coming out. We just talk about running a lot because...
Do you think that you guys, like, what is your, like, dynamic? Because, again, I don't know him and, like...
You never will.
I know. That's how I feel. Like, I feel like I'm never going to meet him. Like, it's weird.
I, like, try and get him to come to run club sometimes. I'm like, you could just walk.
Yeah.
He's like, no. He does not want to meet people, new people, unless it's, like... necessary.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Do you like cook dinner every night?
No. Oh, that's another
like
question.
how is your dinner thing going?
Talk about. We do not cook a lot.
No. Really? You guys like the eat out?
Because I always thought you were like after run club you leave. Usually you don't like hang around. You're like I'm out, bro.
Yeah. Like,
you live in Belding?
Oh, so we like.
Oh, I thought you live like. Okay, that's not where I thought you lived.
I don't know where that is.
No, it's like Rockford.
There's
it's like parallel with Rockford almost. Like my dad grew up in Belding.
Yep. So yeah, like we generally like.
Are you by that gas station?
I'm like 10 minutes from.
Because you know what gas station I'm thinking of? Like yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we like.
There's one gas station and it's very prevalent in Belding and it's like literally the only thing by a cemetery almost.
Yeah.
We're thinking there's only one and they sell a lot of meats, which is weird. They do. Meats. My dad like goes there and buys meats.
Just jerky.
He buys meat at the gas station.
Ooh.
It's a different kind of gas station.
It's like in Belding, there's not just like a grocery store every corner. Like if you go to the gas station, might just have like your whole grocery shopping.
Yeah.
Like, you never.
No, it's true because like you have to go all the way to Rockford to like Meyer.
It's like food and stuff on Parks and Rec.
It is.
Yeah. Back to food and
full
stuff.
circle.
Oh my gosh.
You can buy
so we live on a lake. He's always wanted to live on a lake.
Nice.
So we bought a little house on a lake when houses were still cheap.
Right.
Nice.
So yeah, we share a car. We drive in together every day. So I drop him off at school like a little child.
Aww.
He goes into school and he does his school thing, and I'll like work from my mom's house. She lives like in the middle of town, kind of.
Well, yeah, because you ran to the run club from there.
Yeah. You're like, why are you
I always wonder where you go all day. There's a lot of things I wonder about you, and one of those is like, where do you go all day? Because you dropped off things at a coffee shop when we were working there, and I was like, oh, she might stay and work with us, and then you left, and I was like, she's gone,
disappeared.
I know. It's like, where do you go?
That's the cat you haven't seen.
Yeah, that's Frodo.
Hi. Oh, you're chatty.
She's really chatty.
Oh.
She's also fat. I like my cats, so I like my people. Well fed.
I think that makes them a little just more lovable.
It is true. Yep. And like you can't put them in diets. But anyway.
But yeah, so we live far away. We drive in together every day. And then it's like if I have anything at night, which I try and like not, intentionally try and not schedule things at night because
that's your time together.
Yeah, like he gets done with his principling thing at like when kids, whatever they do, whenever they get out.
Like late, like 5?
No, well, I mean, yes.
He coaches.
Exactly. So the second he's done with that, we coach until like 5.
Yeah.
And then.
So you coach together. You guys coaching the same team.
Which is really nice.
Yeah.
Like,
that is cute.
One thing we share. We're very different people, but it's one thing we're like, that is our thing.
Because
So then, like Monday night, like for run club, like I'll leave him at school. And then I like go do run club and I like
pick him back up.
Hightail it out of there.
Okay, that makes more sense. I always thought you like had to go home and make dinner. I thought maybe like it was one of those things where like I'm gonna go home and make some dinner.
We are bad. I don't know about you guys. Really? I think we're
really bad.
Whether it's like Qdoba or get a pizza or go sit down somewhere. I think we eat out like 5.
I like how you're like 7.
Yeah, you were like no, but like don't even feel ashamed because we are really bad, and I've been trying really hard to grocery shop because I'm like maybe it'll save us money.
I know,
and it doesn't nowadays.
No, it doesn't.
So at this point, it's like I'd rather go get takeout.
Okay, it does.
Okay, Paul, when have you grocery shopped? I'm sorry,
I
sir.
just Venmo her.
She does.
Perfect.
And then they talk about like couples shouldn't Venmo each other. I'm like, excuse me. Yeah, they should.
Yeah,
they should.
No, we won't eat out like it'll just be like, okay, lunch, we're gonna eat this out.
Well, like it's also like tonight, for instance, like we haven't eaten yet, and I have something I could make, and it's like,
what are you making?
But would you be excited about it?
Yeah, it's like it's a baked Alfredo, which is like it's good. It's yeah. You don't?
No, I do.
Yeah. See, here's the issue though. The other thing too that I've learned is my first marriage, I was like your typical housewife.
Handmaid's Tale.
Yeah. Okay. Well, okay, not Handmaid's Tale. Okay, he was not like that.
Not that extreme.
No, but I did like I cooked every night. I made his lunches. Cleaned everything.
Traditional.
Very traditional, and I also had a full-time job, but I work from home, so it's a little bit easier.
But still.
But now that I'm dating Paul, I don't like to cook when he's around because He's kind of controlling.
What?
You just like things to be a certain way.
Well, yeah, you are right. You're right in the sense of like,
because he's vegan, so that's
when
fair.
You cook vegan food.
Yes,
Okay.
But the other issue is I have not successfully made anything for him that I haven't messed up. I don't understand.
It was good last night.
I couldn't put the top of the pie on.
That's true. You couldn't.
Like I've messed up every meal, and I was a good cook. I was a good cook.
Good job.
I did so good in my last relationship.
I was so proud.
Every time, either I drop it at the end. Like I have dropped multiple meals.
She's made full pot pies and
dropped them
face down after.
Yes. I don't understand. And so last night everything was going really well until I made the pot pie. It was tofu pot pie.
So very Paul.
Very Paul. I made 2 pies.
Yep.
And I had 2 tops of the pies.
Nope.
And I brought them out. And they were like, I had put them in the freezer instead of the fridge, like you're supposed to do. Yeah. And so they were frozen, and I couldn't unravel them. And when I started unraveling them,
they cracked.
Yeah, they all fell apart. And I was like, uh-oh.
But to kind of answer your question, though, I mean, I've been vegan for 10 years, so I've kind of had to force myself to cook, like, for 10 years. Yeah,
I mean, especially, like, I'm sure when you started eating vegan
2013
less options,
way less,
like
Qdoba, Chipotle, and that was it.
Now, like, not that it's everywhere, but it's a lot more prevalent.
I can go to Martha's Pizza, like, in the backyard,
and they have a vegan option.
Yeah, that's the other issue. Okay.
I love. Oh yeah, you guys are in the best and the worst spot.
Yeah. Eat so many cookies. It's unbelievable. In Lion Street.
I texted you beforehand. I was going to go get a coffee, or not a coffee, but like a chai latte before this.
Mm-hmm. And you can drink caffeine late like that?
Does chai have a lot of
Chai doesn't have, no, it doesn't. It has hardly anything. Tess told me.
It doesn't really
Black tea has caffeine.
It's not black tea.
It's
chai.
I don't know. Okay, I don't know anything.
But basically, Lion Street was closed for some event or something.
Oh, I was saying they're usually open till 7.
Yeah, they were not open till 7.
That's sad.
Instead, I had to go next door. I had to go get a treat from Nantucket.
Nice.
You bought, so sad. What would they have left?
I got a cookie and a cake bowl.
Nice.
I feel like they never have anything left at this time because I love the M&M ones.
It was just like the desserts. Yeah,
pretty much.
Like that cake ball though was fantastic.
Like we buy full baguettes there and cover them with butter and just cook them and eat them.
Oh yeah.
But what are you guys eating in Belding, Michigan?
Yeah, that's a great question.
McDonald's?
Well, there's a lot.
McDonald's.
There's a lot on the way. There is a lot on the way.
Like, driving from like Forest Hills area to Belding.
What's your go-to?
So
like what you eat most frequently?
When we leave, it's normally like, okay, what do we want to do? And also like he's done at work. I like maybe in the winter I have a little more time to cook, but like in the fall, my money job is like I'm a wedding photographer, so I'm like constantly editing, and then when I'm running, like when I'm running for marathons, I'm running 100-mile weeks, so like that's a lot of work. Yeah, it's just like, and then coaching, so we get done, we're just like, I don't really have like the energy to like go cook.
And then clean.
Yeah, that's
the worst part. Yeah,
that is the worst part. We don't have a dishwasher in Belding.
Oh,
it's just a sink.
Yeah. That's tough.
You take that thing for granted.
That's
man.
messed up.
It is messed up.
I'm gonna need you to. But we're starting a GoFundMe for a dishwasher.
We will post the link.
Yeah, please try to donate $5.
You take things for granted, but
that's rough.
Yeah, it's like there's a Qdoba we can swing by.
Nice. Yeah. Is that like West River Drive-ish area? So like the Score.
Yeah. Yep. Right.
There's a sushi place there if you wanted.
There's a poke bowl.
Yeah, poke bowl place. Blue Water Grill if you want to take out.
We like Bostwick Lake Inn a lot.
Oh, that place is good. Have you had their donuts? That Bostwick Lake Inn donut
bakery.
place?
Oh
yeah, that place is real good.
Yeah, I have had those donuts.
Yeah, that's good.
There, I've tried most donuts.
Donuts are great.
But yeah, like, I don't know. I know that like eating what I like food that I make could be probably a little cheaper, not a ton cheaper, but like a little cheaper and like probably just better for me.
Yeah.
I don't.
Sometimes so, but like sometimes
vegetables.
Not. Yeah.
I don't like fruits.
I don't like
really
vegetables. I can't tell you the last time.
Okay. I love that though, because I told the girl, we went to a game night Sunday and I said, yeah, I'm not really a big fruit person.
Yeah.
I was like, I'll eat veggies cooked, but like, I'm not really a big healthy person. I would rather have a cookie. And like, that's just who I am as a person. And she's like, even as a runner? And I'm like,
yes, as a runner.
Yeah, honestly, bro, like it doesn't change much. Like,
no, it's just
I'm not eating carrots as a snack. Paul keeps buying apples, and I'm like, I'm not eating that crap.
What I like,
Paul is horse
because of the vegan thing. Yeah,
he eats a lot of stuff. Yeah, and he tries to make me eat things like that, and I'm like,
there's not a fruit or vegetable I don't like except okra. If you've ever had okra, it's disgusting.
No one even knows what that is. I thought that was a whale.
Is it like it's like something that in a lot of like Southern cuisine they'll cook? Yeah,
it's like slimy.
Isn't that a whale?
No, that's an orca.
So similar though. Okra.
Matt,
they're the
you
same.
Think of all the vegetables I won't eat whale.
Orca.
I don't know.
Orca.
Orca.
No one is eating whale.
Okra.
I'm not eating shamu.
Now I'm not going to be able to remember which is which.
Okra.
Okra.
Like when you eat it too, it tastes like a slimy body.
Gonna be honest, I'm ew.
Not taste,
how have you known that?
Paul is so good at selling.
This is disgusting.
Paul, eat vegetables.
That's like when I was like, oh, I've never had mango. Like it's not frozen, right? Like I put frozen stuff in my smoothies, and he brings it downstairs with a spoon. He goes, it's like an ice cream cone. I'm like, this is. So I take a picture. I take a bite of it, and I'm like,
this is not like an ice cream.
I have had a lot of ice cream, and this is not it.
This is not it.
So you don't do veggies?
None.
Okay. Yesterday, today I did not eat a vegetable
at all.
Not yet.
I have. Wait. Let's think. Wait. What did you have for lunch?
Oh, lunch. Alyssa had. Have you ever made a Dutch baby before?
Never heard of it. How's that?
Is it like a pot pie?
No.
I feel like it would be.
You take a cast iron skillet and it's like eggs, flour. Like it was
it's
like
a quiche?
5 eggs. Not really. It's like ends up being like a kind of a pastry doughy thing.
Really?
Okay.
Like you'll put it in the oven in this hot pan and then it rises and then it sinks. And you can make it like savory. You can make it like.
So what did you do with it?
What did you do?
So it's just eggs.
A lot of eggs.
5 eggs, flour.
Are eggs a vegetable?
No.
No, maybe.
Have you had a croissant sandwich from Caffeine?
Jesus.
No, are they good?
Please go.
Okay.
I'm not kidding
I haven't been to Caffeine.
You need it.
Do you know where they get their croissants from? Because Grand Rapids has a lot of good croissants.
That's true.
They get it from the croissant place.
Okay.
I don't know.
I don't know, but it's honestly like it's $15, so it's kind of expensive.
Wait,
okay.
that fucking thing is $15
like,
when we go?
Never again.
Yeah.
No, I'm shook. That thing is not worth $15 from what I've seen.
That's because he's vegan.
Really
There's
good.
2 types of cheese, egg, croissant, ham, lettuce, tomatoes. So there's your veggies.
Yeah.
And then it's got like some sort of sauce.
To me, it looks like it could have been made at McDonald's. That's the size.
That's a
of
lie. No, it's not. It's
mouth.
huge. It's like the size of my fist.
Are there fast food places you won't like? You're not down for, or you're down?
Are you a fast foodie?
I like a chicken tender.
Okay. McDonald's.
So
McDonald's doesn't have chicken tendies.
I could go into this for a long time.
Culver's.
Oh, okay.
Culver's is okay. Except the concrete mixer is more
or
than
the curds. Have you had the curds?
No.
Oh, they're good.
Okay. Cheese. I'm also not a cheese person, really.
Oh, whoops.
Oh, so no curds for Alyssa. But like, I don't know. The chicken tenders. I can't talk to you about the chicken tenders.
Talk to me.
Talk to Mac about the chicken tenders.
I got nothing.
Keep you out of this.
Okay, so Culver's.
Arby's use.
Arby's.
Chill.
No, but Paul, you know.
Yay or nay?
I like Arby's.
Okay. I used to like their chicken tenders, but recently, I feel like in the last year.
Arby's has chicken tenders?
Yes, which is weird.
Paul's like anti-Arby's, and I don't understand.
Yeah, they used to be like thick, and now they're like really thin.
No.
Yeah, just disappointing. So
don't go to Arby's.
If you're looking for chicken tenders,
not
Arby's.
Not
the move.
I think they were.
Okay,
yeah,
they were. Long John Silver's?
Oh, I have not done
I don't know. I'm just wondering because I feel like that has to be like a
pyramid
scheme.
Ever been?
No.
I feel like it is.
Is it real?
Is it MLM?
You can't tell me someone is working there and showing up and like, hey, I work at Long John Silver's.
If you work at Long John Silver's, let us know because there is one.
Full day of work today.
Reach out.
So where are the top chicken tendies?
I will say, I mean, the answer that probably everyone would give. I don't necessarily love the business, but Chick-fil-A.
Oh.
Yeah, I see. Yes, they do have great sauce and great fries.
And the chicken is so sweet.
It is good.
The fries, though, I've gotten them a couple times.
Paul,
Kind of soggy.
The waffle fries.
Yeah, kind of soggy. And it's like
okay.
Waffle fries.
Here's the issue with Paul. It's like
wow.
When I first,
one issue.
So I got home from my ultra. Paul and I went to North Carolina. I ran my ultra. We got home, and then I dropped him off, and I went home alone. And sometimes Paul judges me for my food choices. He says I eat like a 12-year-old.
Yeah,
it's accurate.
I think I might be with you.
It's accurate. I love mac and cheese. I love some chicken tendies.
Oh yeah.
So
I could do mac and cheese and chicken tenders.
Every meal. Yeah. Cereal Sunday. So I stop at Culver's and I get myself a Butterburger.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't remember going to Culver's
because you weren't there.
I
dropped you off.
Okay.
I got a Butterburger.
She's like,
and I got crinkle fries. I got a whole meal.
Yep.
And I go home and I sit in the dark and I eat my meal. And then
I was happy.
I was so happy. And then obviously I knew Paul was gonna come back over the next day because we had just started dating. So I had to hide the evidence.
Oh.
And so I did. I hid the evidence in my trash can because I didn't want you to know.
This?
No, I didn't. I didn't.
Okay.
Because I had to hide it.
Nope. Because
I'm down for the junk food.
Paul eats vegetables.
You're not down for the junk food.
You don't think?
When have you ever gone to a fast food place? When's I told you about. I like sub. No, he can't eat anything.
No. Yeah.
And the other
like
issue
a
is
nasty bean burrito from
Ew.
Taco Bell. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Okay,
Those
Taco Bell I don't
Those
really
beans
love.
are coming.
I don't love. I'm not a Taco Bell fiend either.
No,
Maybe I'm gonna
You're gonna get
out.
sick.
But
100.
I do like their Cinnaballs.
Okay.
What's a Cinnaball?
It's like cinnamon.
Like cinnamon dough,
Going
basically.
ball with like icing in the middle.
Oh.
Okay. Have you either of you gotten bad food poisoning from a restaurant in Grand Rapids anytime recently?
Kalamazoo, yes. Not
No.
here. No,
No.
you. I assume you have something.
No.
We were just talking about food poisoning the other night because we were watching Parks and Rec and they got food poisoning.
Yes, it's always in shows. I don't think I've actually had any in Grand Rapids, which is
No.
pretty good.
No.
Yeah. I think of like in other countries.
Do you like sushi?
Yes.
You like raw fish?
Yes.
Like what is your go-to sushi order?
Oh, great. You don't. So you do sushi.
I do. I eat. I'll eat
He does
veggie
like the
rolls.
veggie
You do
rolls.
fish?
We
You
do
don't do
ginza a
fish.
lot, which is close to the house.
Ginza. I don't think I've done.
It's like
ginza
with
before.
Really
with
good.
Gordon Food Service or whatever.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. I would do like a spicy salmon or like a shrimp tempura. I'm pretty basic.
Yeah, okay. I am
You-
too. I like California's,
We're
which is like
chil-
super
we're
basic.
children.
But I love egg rolls or like
Oh,
the
yeah.
spring rolls. I could eat
rolls.
29 of those.
Fry those things
Which
up.
you can get a $7.99 box of, what is it, like 72 of them from
50
Costco?
or something.
Really?
And then when you're there, you
Yeah.
can get a hot dog. How do you feel about hot dogs?
No.
No,
No.
this is
I
important.
think you like hot dogs.
How do you feel about them?
She's asking you like, how do you feel
This
about
is make or
I
break it for our
like-
friendship.
I like brats.
Close enough.
Okay, it's a cousin.
I'll give it
of
to
the
you
hot
because
dog.
like at least you're not like, it's gross. Like that.
I sent her a video on how they're made and it's scary.
Oh no,
I won't watch
just
it.
wouldn't- no.
Don't watch it.
You don't need to know.
Don't
There's
care.
Some things you don't need to know.
Yeah, there's some like the
Nope.
little, don't take away my joys in life.
I remember as a child. Well, this is a question.
No, wait.
you-
At first, you need to finish the story, and then you can ask the
food-
question.
what was the story?
Well, not the food poisoning, but you were just about to say when I was a child, and then you were about
Yes.
to ask a question instead of telling us your story.
Yes,
us your
as a
story.
child.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's You're right. As a child, I remember like when you had lunches at school, my mom would pack my lunches, and for a while, like there must have been this massive sale on like these. You know how string cheese is in like a package?
Right.
Yes.
So there was
And
like
you
hot
peel
dogs
them.
that were
No.
Stop.
Nope. Don't remember that.
and it had like cheese dots in it. Like there's cheese throughout the hot dog. So that was like my hot dog memory, and ever since then,
Okay,
me and hot
that's
dogs have
understandable
not-
because I don't understand what that is.
No, you don't need.
You need to go to
shouldn't,
Costco and try
get
a hot
good
dog.
hot dog. But yeah,
That's
school
scary.
lunches. My question for you two was: were you a child that got Lunchables bought for you from the grocery store?
I never
Pizza Lunchables.
I never
Oh,
really
see.
liked them.
Nachos.
To me it was like play food.
Oh, I
Okay.
love
wasn't
play
real.
food.
Paul is a better eater than we are.
No, he isn't.
feel-
It
I
really
feel
is sad.
bad now.
He always goes. We went to the grocery store. We went to the market, and we bought groceries the other day because we're trying to be good. And I made him buy salmon, the vegan.
Oh,
Don't like
He
it.
was mad.
okay.
No, I wasn't mad. I was
'Cause
like,
you were
why
mad.
are we in the meat aisle?
Get me out of
He
here.
was like, I'm never buying this again because I wanted it for lunch.
Shit's
But
expensive too.
Oh,
I didn't know how expensive meat was.
no, but then
Yeesh.
I bought a box of Lucky Charms. I was like, we need this. And I asked about Oreos, and he said no. But he's like,
because
you're,
those are vegan.
he was
I
like,
did the Oreo.
he's
I'm
like,
not
you're
eating
eating
Oreo.
like a foss again. And I'm like, oh,
Fine.
my family eats like the same as me.
Shamey. So you
Which
would
is
you would
fine.
get Lunchables.
Oh yeah.
You.
Now?
Oh no,
no.
like as a kid.
Oh,
I was
no.
like,
I would
we
go-
would never get them unless they were on like super sale.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but they were like almost like, remember when Meyer had like those $5 for $1
Oh,
or whatever it
yeah.
was, like the dollar sale.
Then we get
Then we get
Lunchables.
Lunchables, and Noam would stock
Lunchables.
up. Or what the issue my mom had with us as kids? Well, me, not my brother. He was fine.
He was.
He listened to rules and stuff. My family's super introverted, which is crazy for
Very.
me.
Yeah, say not similar to you then.
No, my mom and dad and brother are so introverted. It's people call me the milkman's baby. But
The milkman and the milkwoman.
yes,
Yeah.
but
They were just
my
delivered, yeah.
my parents would pack me a lunch. My mom would, and I would get to school and I'd be like, "Screw this lunch! I'm getting Bosco sticks."
Yeah.
And I would get Bosco sticks. I'd rip the cheese out because I didn't like the cheese, and I'd fill it with ketchup.
I feel like
Paul's face.
no. I feel like school lunches is like,
They're
or what you
scary.
ate at school is something that
It was a
everyone
social.
could go in. Like we could go on and on about this.
Yeah.
Not that we will, because I don't know if that's a super interesting topic.
I mean,
of
Bosco
conversation.
sticks are great.
Like what you would get for hot lunch, like what you would get packed. Like I get packed certain things, I would throw them away because I
Really?
didn't want to eat it.
Was it like the oranges?
That was like the cheese stick.
But low key, like,
I
that
never
makes
liked
sense.
those.
Oh, the hot dog thing is weird. I don't understand a hot dog thing with cheese.
So did you guys grow up, were you like kind of middle class or a little like?
Yeah, I'd say very much middle class. Like my mom, so I have 2 sisters, and my mom stayed home, and like my dad would work, and like very much like they were super intentional about like saving money. Like we would not go out to eat. We would not like if we bought something, it was definitely on sale, and like, I mean, it was really intentional. And like, same with like vacations when we were younger. It would be a lot of like we would drive somewhere,
road trips.
Yep. And like I mean, I wish I was that financially responsible.
Do you think that's why
you
maybe eat out now, where it's like I don't?
Because that's why
freedom.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it's like priorities too.
Yeah,
like I think for me,
because you don't have kids at the moment.
Correct. So that's another topic of conversation. I feel like when I was younger, like their priority was like we're gonna save money and we're gonna do things right, and for me, I'm like, I don't have kids,
right?
I'm just gonna enjoy life for what it is right now, and if that means I'm saving a little bit less, like
right.
I feel like it's rude. I never know. Like, I don't personally find it rude when people are like, "Oh, do you want to have kids?" To me,
I've never asked a woman that.
But yeah, I feel like it is a
touchy,
taboo.
right?
It's a taboo subject to be like, "Do you want kids?"
Okay, well, let's ask each other. Do you want kids someday?
I feel like I might. Like,
I'm sure.
It's really weird because
you're
28.
So you could have like.
I have like 4-ish years if I want.
Or more.
Yeah.
Like
at this point.
Like 35? Like
yeah. I mean, when you're 30, it's geriatric, but like, or 31.
Oh shit.
But I think it's hard too, because like, if you would have asked me when I was right out of my parents' house, grew up obviously Rockford, Michigan, like very much like go out, you find your man, you get married, you settle in, right?
Yep, that's what you do.
I think I would have said like, yes, I want 2 kids and I would like them by the time I'm 25 100%. And all this stuff. But now it's like, in hindsight, I told my mom today, it's cute seeing the babies. Like, I'm like, oh, those are adorable. And like, obviously like, that's a cute idea. But like, also realistically, I'm like, do I want to give up not only being a runner, like my body and being able to run and do marathons and stuff like that. Not saying you can't if you're pregnant and you're,
Correct.
a
there's
mom.
Just a pause, right?
Yes. Yeah, you have obviously different priorities, but also like just socially, like I feel like I'm always on the move, and I do feel like I don't know if I'm ready, and I can't picture being ready to not be selfish.
Oh, I think like there's so many things that you said that like I completely resonate with. Like, I think selfish is 100% the word I use. Like, I don't know if I'm ready to not be selfish. Like, to be able to like drop everything and be like, I'm changing plans, or like I want to go away for the weekend, or like, and I know that like a cat. Yeah, a cat.
Which is why we have cats.
Oh yeah, you let them go. They're fine.
Yeah.
For like a week. They're fine. And I mean, there's so many different, like you said, it's like sometimes it's like you're walking on eggshells in terms of asking someone like,
because you don't know if they can.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is hard.
They might be like in the thick of trying to have a child, and like I've had so many, like I say so many friends. I have 3 friends.
Oh no, you had 4. I think you listed 4 friends.
4. The number is growing.
That's a great time.
We got 2 new ones right here.
6.
Oh, that's so cute.
I'm gonna cry.
I know. But yeah, like I just.
Do you ever?
It depends on the person, like. Whether I think you just have to know the situation and know the person to be like, I can ask you this question.
Sure.
But I'm with you. For me, I mean, I'm 32. So I feel like for me, I'd be like 3 more years. I kind of have to like decide. Right?
Do you ever worry a little bit? Because I don't know if your parents are like this. My parents don't like running.
Yeah.
They're very weird about what I'm putting my body through when it comes to training, doing these races, and like making sure. And I guess like a lot of times hormones come into play when it's like you are a distance runner. There are a lot of factors that go into that. Like is there ever been like a fear in your head of like, what if it's just like, what if I try and then
oh totally,
you know,
and like I mean,
it's just not
like you said, what you're like the strain you're putting your body through. Like there's a lot of like female distance runners that were like lose a period, or like
it's a huge issue.
And that like can lead to infertility like long term, which is really scary, which is why like that's again like a big thing that I look for. Like my high school girls I coach is like, let's make sure we're eating. Like let's make sure we're doing things right.
Take care of yourself younger, so you know.
I mean, I know there's phases to life. Like I'm not saying because you don't have issues with like disordered eating as a high schooler that you won't have them later in life. Like it doesn't, it's not one size fits all.
But you also don't want to like obviously grow into it either. Correct. Like, you know.
So yeah, I feel like we're in the spot where like, I agree. Same as you. It's like, I'm going to be 20. I'm going to get married at 22. I'm going to have children by like 27.
Yeah.
Or have a child by 27.
Yeah.
And I just like, I could see a really happy life with a kid. Singular. I think it would only be one.
Yeah. It'd be cute, you know. Like, you get to hang out with it, and like it'd be a little bit. You have a new friend, a built-in friend, seven friends. That's a lot.
7 friends. And like, I also say like, have you met? Like, I feel like most people I know that have children, I ask them like, are you glad you had children? And they're like, yes.
Yeah, they're so happy about it.
I cannot imagine my life without this child, right? Mm-hmm. But then like, I don't know. I just still think it's such a West Michigan cultural thing that like. Yeah. Like, what's wrong with you? You don't want kids?
Yeah.
Are you a normal woman?
It's very taboo.
Yeah. So I don't know. And at this point, like I get to be around kids that I coach a lot. So like I get to kind of scratch that itch.
And you have the nephew and stuff,
and, like,
and friends get kids.
So we go back and forth. It's like 1 week it's like we are team kid, and the next week it's like no kid.
But it's also hard too, because I do feel like in West Michigan, you obviously a lot of the trends are to have kids early, but at least for me, like, I don't feel like I became a human until I was like 26, 27.
You still, like, looking back, it's like I was still a kid.
Yeah. And I just am like, okay, I just became the person that I wanted to be and found the things that I'm actually truly interested in.
Yeah.
And now I gotta, not that I have to give that up, but like in a way it's like, I kind of want to enjoy like a few years of like being this person and like feeling confident in who I am and like secure in who I am and knowing who I am.
Before I think of having a kid.
Before I pass something on to another person. And I also feel like, at least for me, when it comes to like disordered eating and like mental health and like the things that I've struggled through and I know a lot of people struggle through, I don't want to pass that down.
Mm-hmm. No, yeah, you want to make sure you're in the place that you want to be in to like nurture another life. Yeah, because you're like, if you want to do that,
you're prone to screw up your kid in some way. Like, I mean, everyone does, right? Like, there is no person walking this earth who is like, I am great. I am not at all traumatized by anything.
Perfect upbringing.
Exactly.
Everything was 110%.
Because we're all just trying to figure it out along the way. Like your parents, I think that's something too that I didn't realize until now growing up is like they're still trying to figure it out.
Yeah. And like they were our age when they had us.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not totally. Yeah, exactly.
I'm like, I wake up every morning and I'm like, okay, today I might do better than yesterday, but I'm still going to do worse than the next. Yeah. Like I'm still just trying to figure it out.
Correct.
Yeah, and I mean, your husband too is surrounded by kids all day, so it's like, does he right now want to come home to some other kids?
It'd be like it's like, I mean, a sacrifice that, I mean, it can be it probably is and would be a really positive thing, but you're definitely giving up other things that are really important to you. What about you? Would you like to have a child someday?
I think I've always, in the last couple of years, I've thought one would be nice.
Yeah.
One.
Ask him what he wants to name it.
Oh, no.
I haven't really thought about a real name.
Oh, really? Because you've told me Ashtray.
Ashtray.
Or what was the other? Metheny?
Well, no.
Metheny.
Yeah. I know. We're not letting him.
We were thinking of fake names.
No, we were not.
Oh. What do you like?
This is not a we.
This is not a community thing.
Yeah, this is not a community thing.
Metheny.
No metheny.
So wait, why... So how did you get into photography? I assume you didn't go to Calvin for photography. What did you go initially to college for?
What did you go to school for?
Espanõl y educación.
Really? You speak Spanish?
I do.
Like really good?
Me too.
No, he doesn't. Really good? Like you're fluent?
¿Quieres conversar en español?
No.
Okay.
Whoa.
Oh, you should talk to a friend.
Yeah. Have you talked to a friend?
Not
do you know
in
who
Spanish.
that
is? Or Ismael?
Because there's a few guys that come to Village Rec.
So I am so like, I'm very self-conscious that like I'm not conjugating everyking perfectly and I'm not doing this perfect. Like
he loves it though. They love that you try.
Well, even like I think about when I hear people who are learning English, I'm not judging them for like you said, like instead of saying I'm going to the mall, you said I go to mall. Like I'm not being like, oh, you said go instead of going. Oh, you said that wrong.
Yeah.
Like, you just like you appreciate that someone is learning another language because most people only speak one language, right?
Yeah.
So like the fact that someone is trying actively to learn another language is like a huge thing.
I can't believe you went to school for Spanish.
I know, and teaching.
Like full Spanish? You went to school for teaching?
Yeah, Spanish.
So you have an education degree.
Yeah, and I don't
did you do student teaching and everything?
Yeah, I like taught for a year, and then I was like,
wow.
Wedding photography is way more my passion, and
like
were you doing it during college?
Yeah, like a little bit on the side. Yep. Yeah. And it was just like, this is much more what I enjoy. So like, it's nice to like be able to still use Spanish occasionally. Or, like,
you obviously get an influx of people. Like you have a good like clientele.
It's like, it is such an incredible job. Like to be able to like, obviously you see some like really stressful stuff.
Yeah.
But like most times it's like you get to spend people's happiest day with them. And like, to me, like it allows me some flexibility.
Yeah, for sure.
And like that's really like, the fact that I'm able to coach. Like like most people don't have freedom at 3 p.m. every day, right? Right. That's like not a common thing. It's like finding.
And you get to travel for weddings,
which is great.
Have you seen some what's a horror story during a wedding? Anything like, insane or no?
Have you ever sung like a bride left at the altar?
No, not yet.
Not yet.
I mean,
I've seen like 300 weddings. Like I feel like I should have seen. Yeah. I've been at it for like 11 years. So I feel like I should have seen some worse stuff that I've seen. But like to me, the thing that gets me most is like, again, like I'm a people pleaser. I don't like confrontation. So I will avoid it at all costs, especially when I'm like a wedding vendor. Like my job is to make the client happy, right? Yeah. I don't want to be an issue. Yeah. Like every so often, like, I'll be like shooting candids during cocktail hour. And I mean, this is just like one wedding specifically, but like I had this older gentleman come up to me and he's like, what kind of camera are you using? And I'm like, oh, it's a Canon 5D Mark IV. And he's like, oh, back when I shot, I used this. I was like, oh, that's so nice. That's fine.
Right.
That's nice conversation. And he was like, well, I've been watching you and, I've noticed that you when you take candids, like you don't have people smile at you. I was like, yes, I come at photography from more of like, a journalistic, like, point of view. Like, yeah, like if people want to post photo, like I'll take it for them. But like generally I like, candid moments and natural non-pose things. I feel like I have that answer like ready to go. He's like, oh yeah, well, they're not going to like those photos. I was like, well, that's why they hired me. It's like, so they hired me because of what I do. He's like, well, let me show you how it's done.
No.
He's like, come over here. He grabbed my arm. And I'm just like, I don't want to cause a scene. I don't want to make somebody angry.
Oh, you're
like,
too nice.
Sometimes. And then, so he like brought me over to this group. He's like, all right, I'm just teaching this young lady how it's done. And he's like, I need you all to stand here and smile. And he's like, take that picture. And I was like, oh my God. I was like,
how did one of them were not like, hey,
happy
Grandpa Joe, get out of here. Sit down or I'll break your hip.
So then he found, I'll break your hip, Grandpa Joe. So then he like came back and like circled around and like found me again and was like, have you been doing what I taught you? I was like, honestly, like, nope, that's not quite the way I work. And like for me that was like,
I was gonna ask you. That's not the way I work.
I stood up for myself.
Yeah. Nice. Okay. Yeah. Speaking of which, what is like, you're not confrontational, obviously.
No.
Have you ever had like girls be mean to you? Oh. Like, have girls actually been mean to you?
I gotta pee. You guys keep going.
Oh, okay.
You do your thing.
But I want to know about this.
I know. I want to hear about mean girls.
So. Yeah.
I feel like no.
Because I feel like, again, like when you are a pretty and like obviously athletic person, like I feel like jealousy, again, insecurities, and girls are mean.
And maybe I've just like, if I've experienced that, I've just like distanced myself instantly. Okay. Because I feel like, in high school, like I can think of like a couple people. I'm like, we don't click, and I like, not that you're mean to me, but like I just don't need you to be in my life, and I just like distance myself. I don't know.
And that worked.
It did.
So you've never had to be like, confrontational?
No.
Ever?
No. And I'm sure it would have been. I'm sure it would be healthy for me to be confrontational sometimes. Yeah. Right. Like being like the way I am is not always a healthy thing.
Not right? Confrontational.
Yeah. How about you?
You're like, I don't want to talk about it anymore. I don't know. I feel like everyone has like, I don't know, even as an adult, like I would still say there's like some people who are not very nice.
Yep. And you can just like, you get that feeling, at least for me, like I feel like I can get that feeling pretty quick.
Yeah.
And then I don't need to engage with you.
And I would say like Paul sometimes has to tell me like, you need to stand up for yourself. And like, I would consider myself like not a stand down kind of person.
Yeah.
And I still like struggle with that, but I still know mean people.
No. And from what I get from you, again, we've only just today become official friends.
I'm in the group of 7.
You were
no, 6 and 7.
Yeah,
somehow we got 6 and 7.
7 was her nephew.
My future kid.
Her future kid.
Oh, the nephew didn't make it.
No, sorry, buddy. Not yet.
Arlo?
Also siblings.
I like that name, Arlo.
That's cute. Oh no. Okay, well now it's not Ashtray, it's Arlo. That's great.
That's better than
way better.
Step up from Ashtray.
We'll see.
Yeah.
But what were you guys saying?
Talking about people who are mean. You said what you get from me when I said I'm like confrontational, but not.
No, I get that. Like from what I know of you so far, I get that. Like you are in no way actively seeking confrontation. But if you found it, I don't see you being unauthentic. I see you being like, this is what I believe and this is who I am. Whereas for me, I'd be like,
you are like the only person who texts double smiley faces that are real. I said that to you. I was like, can we just talk about that for a minute?
Because I'm like 32 and I did all my texting before emoji.
Yeah, that's fine.
No, she has had like women that I know would be mean to her, and I'm like, you didn't stand up, like you didn't.
Well, my thing is that like I think it's not that I'm not being confrontational. I just in my head, I don't know. I just never think that it's worth it. Like to me, it's like if I hurt your feelings and you're upset with me about something, I'm sure that's valid. Like I'm sure that like by chance I probably did something that hurt your feelings, and I want to respect that that's valid. But I also like is what I have to say, like me telling you that what you did is also mean, is that really worth it to like drag this out, or can I just apologize and like let's figure out a way to like and
not cut this off, but it doesn't need to be like this whole thing.
Like I'd rather us be like, how can we solve this? Like how can I make this better for both of us, rather than like I just really need to voice my opinion. You know what I mean? Like that to me, that doesn't seem like it's worth it.
Actually remedy something. So just from what I've assumed about you or gleaned about you, and from what you just said.
That's a big word.
Gleaned.
I like it.
Okra.
Orca.
Orca. It's the whale fruit. It's the fruit of the whale.
It's a vegetable.
Veggie of the whale.
Just getting really.
I'm never
really
eating that.
Up in here.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, like I don't know. I don't see you being someone that seeks it out, seeks out any sort of confrontation. But like, I would see you being someone that like is true to yourself and like stands up for yourself. I don't know. I think that's a really healthy place to be.
Do you want to know what's also funny?
Yes.
So you had me lead Village Rec a long time ago, like one day for you.
This summer.
Yeah, for like the first time. And I asked, my question of the day was, what's your favorite cartoon?
Yeah.
And then 2 weeks later, you came back and asked it. And I didn't want to tell you.
I was thinking about that. I was like,
we are same.
I know. Well, actually, Paul thought of the question, and then I stole it because I was like, oh shoot, I have to think of a question.
I get that sometimes. I'm like, oh no, it's 5:29.
You don't
What's
have
your
you
favorite?
Could, you
I
could,
don't. You know, I don't do questions at Society. Yeah. I say, sorry guys.
Yep.
What's your name?
I say, just tell me your name.
Yep. That's all we need to know.
And then I'm like, this is the thing.
Questions on the run.
Yeah. Well, I think sometimes I'm just like, if it gets big, I don't want it to like take a long time. But also, sometimes I'm like,
And if they've gone to Village Rec, they've gone to Lion Street, they've already answered.
They've asked so many questions.
On Monday and Tuesday.
Yeah. I'm like, do you need one on Thursday? Like, talk about what you answered the other days.
And we will talk on the run.
Yeah.
I love seeing, like, again, we've talked about this, like, in person, not on a podcast, obviously, but, like, also if you have not heard of Society Track Club,
show up.
There's another link for you. Yeah, like I think it's just so cool how, like, again, we've talked about how like the running community in Grand Rapids is thriving.
Yeah,
like
it's great.
There's a run club every day. Like, you know, if you're able to like pay a little bit for like a team and like training and workouts, you can do Run GR.
Yeah.
But the fact that you've kind of created a niche of people that can also go to all of these social run clubs.
Oh yeah.
But also have a day of the week where they like get to like come and do something that's a little more challenging physically is a really cool thing, because there was definitely a space there that had not been taken up before, and to have that now is really, really cool.
Yeah. And like I said, I went on a run earlier today and we were talking about like, she kept being like, oh, thank you so much for running slow with me. We're like, oh, I want to be fast. And I'm like, it's so relative. She's like, I just want this to be easy. And I'm like, low-key, it's not easy.
Yeah.
Because like, it's never going to be easy.
And to me, like, talking about slow and fast, like to, you know, Jim, Ted is really fast. And then to Ted, like, you know, Tim is really fast. And to Tim, like this professional runner, Nick is really fast. Like, unless you are literally the best, fastest world record runner, like,
it's all relative.
There's always someone that you're going to feel like, oh, I'm inferior to. And
yeah,
I think
you
don't notice that. It's like, if there's someone that's like one level above you, you're like, that's it. Like, they must have it all figured out. But like, no, everyone's fat. Like you said, fast is relative.
Yeah, and I think that's why I liked it when you were like, oh, I have a drink before a marathon. Because it's like, I do feel like we were talking today a lot about like, there is this pressure right now, I feel like, of all these perfect like concoctions of how to live like the most perfect life, like all these different things you can do. I mean, Paul doesn't drink.
Yep.
And that's great for Paul. That's his own thing.
Had
he does
too much fun, you know.
That's his own thing, and that's great, and it works for Paul. But when I first met Paul and another person in the running community who also weren't drinking, I was like, oh, I need to do that to be a good runner.
That have to be me too.
Yeah. And I started trying to do that, and it ended up being unhealthy for me because I had this weird thing where like I thought I had to hide that I wanted to have a drink every once in a while. And I was like, ooh,
that's not a good,
that's not authentic. Yeah. But then also I was like, I don't want to put that pressure on me for like, I really love champagne with an orange peel. I love it.
Champagne is my favorite alcohol.
It's so good. Put an orange peel in it.
Okay, I will.
It's amazing. Wow. And I really wanted that. And I felt like I couldn't have that every once in a while. And I was like, oh, does this make me like not a healthy person? Does this make me not a good runner? Like, am I not going to be a good runner? And it's nice to like talk to someone who I would consider a really good runner who's different. Like, you don't do everything that everyone else does. And it's like, I'm sure spectrum, there's like, same with like, we like 12-year-olds. Paul does not. Like, you know, and some people like he does the cold plunges. There's some people who do like other methods of like keeping themselves healthy. And I think there's no like concoction of things to make life perfect or like make you perfect. To like
respect someone's routine. Works for them, but not have to adapt it for yourself.
Yeah. And not put that pressure on you.
How are you with stretching? No. You're like, nah.
I don't even need words for that one.
Do you do yoga?
Oh man.
Do you like yoga?
I have never done. I've done one booty yoga.
I'm sorry. What is a booty yoga?
It's like
is it
like
yoga
really
for your
high
booty?
Energy,
sure.
like,
so it's like Zumba.
I'm sorry, Megan. Megan is another Lululemon ambassador that she owns Kula Yoga, and so I took a class with her.
Yeah, I've seen
it was called Booty Yoga.
Is that on Wealthy?
Yes.
Yeah.
They just opened another location on Leonard as well.
Ooh.
Okay, nice.
I've seen that.
Yeah. Yep. So yeah,
it's cool.
Took one class with her, and it was not like a relaxing yoga. It was like we're gonna sweat kind of yoga.
Nice.
That's it.
Let me get this straight. 22-mile workout. You go home and raw dog it like you're just sitting.
No one raw dogs. She probably eats some food.
Yeah,
chills,
I know.
Like takes a shower, takes
like
a
an
nap.
Epsom salt bath. That's
you do that.
Big on Epsom salt bath.
Wow, must be nice.
I will do like, if I'm in the thick of it, I'll do like a weekly sports massage.
Okay, nice.
Nice.
At Grand Rapids Sports Massage, I think Pete does a great job.
Nice.
You need a sports masseuse therapist, Pete at Grand Rapids Sports Massage. I'm just plugging everything. But yeah, I don't know. I don't do a stretch thing. I will say though, I think we've talked about this on a run. I feel like the reason that this cycle of marathoning didn't go quite the way I wanted it to was because I did such a good job last spring and last winter of lifting, and then that marathon went super well, and I just completely dropped it like cold turkey. And I blame it on that. Which is, there's probably a lot more factors than that,
but it does make a difference. Like it totally does. But it's hard to prioritize that when you're running so often. It's like, do I have time to fit? I'm not like and as amazing of a runner as you are, you're not like a paid professional athlete.
Correct.
And it's like,
I know. And like, do you sacrifice a run for a lift, or do you sacrifice a quality workout for like a lift the day before? Like you have to like do it on the exact right day and time and
Operation Get Jacked.
I do feel like I feel like I've talked to a few different runners that are feeling the exact same way right now. It's like, I'm missing something, and it is like probably just that extra strength. Like pop, like, you know, and I feel like that's what a lift does. So,
so we know that you have obviously a ton of accomplishments when it comes to running.
I hope so.
A ton.
Thanks.
And I don't want this podcast to be like all about running, obviously with you, because there's so much more to you than running.
Yes.
What would you say, like, you would consider your highest accomplishment not running related?
Oh.
Where you're like, I am so proud of this, and it's not running related.
It's not running related. I will say, it's kind of running related. It's not my running related.
Oh, with the kids?
I think that like, that's like, I think
the state champs.
A lot of, there you go. Boys state champions this year. Fun. But like, I don't know if you guys feel this way. I feel like in a lot of ways, I live a very self-centered, like selfish existence. Like almost not everything, but I think about most every day, and it's like, what does Alyssa need? What's Alyssa doing? Like, when does Alyssa need to get this in? It's like Alyssa focused. And I feel like for me, the thing that I'm proudest of, or like the best part of my life, or the best thing that I can do, is like to coach. And I don't ever see myself, I'm not a head coach. I don't write training. I don't really see myself ever like coaching adult athletes. Like that's not my path.
Sure.
But like my role as a coach, my husband does like, he's the head coach. He wrote out the training, all that stuff.
Okay.
Like to me, if I can just like come in and be like a positive adult presence for like high schoolers, and I coach some middle schoolers too, a little bit of both. But like that to me is like what I'm most proud of, is that like I'm able to give back in that way, especially like I think for like female runners in the high school age group, to like see an example of like a female athlete runner who's like
balanced
proud,
for once,
balanced, like
strong.
I like positive self-image, like positive self-talk, because again I don't think they see that all the time everywhere necessarily. So like that's something that I really like is really important to me. So again, like it's running related, but I don't like, again, it is because it's cross country, but like it's not like I'm proud of these runners because they're so fast and like I've coached them so well. Like no, it's like I'm proud of like who I can, like that's like my way of like giving back and like doing things for something other than myself.
That's
and
awesome.
For me, that would be my one. Okay, let me just, you don't have to talk about it for a while, but I do want to hear that like quick answer from both of you too.
You got questions?
Yeah, like what are you most proud
of?
You got
questions, Paul says. Paul goes first.
I'm gonna copy second question.
Most proud of, sheesh.
Not running related?
Not running.
That's
what
like
have I
very
done
much,
running?
very much.
You ran across the state.
Across the state, Paul.
Honestly, though, he was a nightmare when he got across.
I was not pleasant.
I would just be a bad place.
Nightmare.
You know, I really don't know, because I have like college education. The weird thing, when my dog died, I felt in a weird way, I felt like a sense of accomplishment. Like, okay, I gave him a good life.
Yeah.
As of recent, like I felt very proud because he was not in a good situation.
Yeah.
So
and
cute.
there was even times where I was a nightmare of a person and still taking care of him.
I mean, I know it's not the same as having a child.
Yeah, no.
It is like a step towards that, right?
That's so fair.
Like you're allowed to be really emotionally tied and proud of your
of
pet.
course.
I've never heard you vocalize that. For me, I'm just like, I look at my cats and I've said out loud, like, I can't believe you're alive.
It's just
go
different.
you, go me,
go all of us.
It's different with dogs too.
Team.
It's just different because I've taken him to Canada. He's been around the country just because he can't
He's
stay
a jet
at home.
setter.
Yeah.
He's honestly flown
Has
everywhere.
he flown?
No.
He's a driver.
That's just not
He's road
fun.
tripped it.
Yeah, he's road tripped it. But I would say in recent memory, it'd be that just giving him a good life.
Oh, I like that answer.
Jeez, I gotta follow that up.
Yeah, follow that up.
Dog.
Like impact on children.
10
Yeah,
pull-ups,
I know.
baby.
Keeping a dog alive. Oh, I can't.
Honestly.
I can't do one pull-up. So we won't talk about pull-ups.
Okay.
Ooh.
What am I most proud of? I didn't like put
Cheer.
these together for me. No, not sure.
I feel like your career is pretty incredible.
I do like my career,
yeah.
but at the same time, I feel like if I had to pick something that I'm most proud of, I almost think like not necessarily like just running related, but like community impact. Like I do feel like I'm really proud of the fact that I have taken every avenue in my life in a way that like I've reached out to the community.
Yeah.
Like even with my career, like being a woman in STEM, like I try to do talks about it. I try to get like, I've had like younger females who are like still in high school or college come up to me and be like, oh, it's really cool to see like a normal person like doing these things.
So like you're saying, like whether it's running, whether it's your career, to like do it do it more than just like for yourself in your own little bubble, but to be like, how could this like
how can I
how can I involve other people?
Exactly. Like same with like the whole eating disorder thing. Like I feel like a lot of people are taboo about that, and I'm like, hey, ask me anything and I will literally tell you about how that happened. And like
that's really cool.
And it's like, even if that helps one person, I'm like, oh, I'm pretty proud that like at least I said something. At least like I was able to vocalize that and maybe help someone. Yeah, I guess that's my thing.
Yeah.
Talk about stuff that's not talked about. Like you said, like with like jealousy or with eating disorders or like anything that like has any sort of negative stigma.
I'm very much like, let's talk about the taboo things, because I don't know. I think that's what humans. Yeah, it makes you. And like I was telling Caro today, like there's so much pressure on people to be like this perfect and like just strive to be good enough. Like that's honestly the best that people can do at this point. Like just be good enough.
Show other people that.
Yeah. If you didn't run, so if you, as of right now, where you are in your running career, If you could translate, no, don't pick swimming, but maybe you can. Okay. If you could translate that to one other sport or like thing, like any, like, so, I mean, it could be your career if you wanted to, but like translate that to something, what would you pick? Like if you were like, oh, I could be like a curler.
Yeah. Oh,
I think
great choice.
You know,
I do.
Olympic curling.
I mean, side note though, I think the sport I have the most respect for is swimming. Because think about it, like we go for runs and you can listen to music, you can look at all the scenery, you can watch a show if you're on a treadmill, you can talk to people. Yeah. Whereas swimmers, it's the same scenery the whole time.
They're psychotic.
And it's so short.
Yeah, and especially if it's like a long distance swim, like you're in that pool staring at the bottom of the pool for hours.
Have you done a try or anything?
No.
Would you?
No, I don't.
She's about to find out. She's about to find out.
Maybe I will love
I think that'd be really cool to watch you do a try. Even like the Reed sprint.
Give it a whirl.
I think you should.
Just flounder in the water.
Mac did it.
I did it.
In the elite group.
I was in the elite group.
Yeah.
I was like, shoot, look at me go.
Who put me here?
Nobody knew.
Who did this?
I was like, look at me run.
I run really good and I swim okay. And I bike,
swimming people are
bike
like
fine.
For you to say okay at swimming though, that's pretty. I mean,
I'm okay.
I'll take it.
I'll stay afloat.
Nice.
Yep, I won't drown in the Y pool. I don't think. I don't. That's a really good question. Like, where would I put my energy? Yeah. I know. It would be.
It could be anything.
It would be athletic because I would need an outlet, but it would be like I would just get really into like lifting.
So you want like a power lifter?
Definitely not powerlifting, but like I could go to the gym for a couple hours every day.
Really?
I would really enjoy
that. You like it like that?
Yeah. Yep. I don't know. It's just like I can't imagine life without some sort of running.
Yeah.
Like obviously it comes and goes. Like there'll be a time when like it's not competitive focus.
Right.
I could picture you being an ice skater.
Ooh.
Oh.
I don't know why figure skating. I feel like I could picture it.
No, those girls are tiny.
How big are your feet?
Tiny.
I'm like a 9.5.
I noticed your Crocs.
they are huge. They're also like the platform Crocs.
Yeah, I know.
So
I was like, oh shoot.
Like, they're a chunk.
Like, I
noticed
always
you
had
put
those?
your foot.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you put your foot in those, it would just be like
no. Guess my
comical.
foot size.
She has big feet.
Don't tell him.
I didn't say it.
You did say this.
Or don't tell her.
Run Club.
Yeah, guess.
Like 7?
No.
Bigger.
Really?
Yeah.
For how small you are.
Guess how big my Nike Alpha Flies are.
Are they 8s?
Bigger.
9.
What? They're 9s?
Yeah.
No.
Look at her hand. Max, show her your hands.
Oh, my hands? Okay, they're just long fingers.
Yeah.
Oh, you got tiny ones.
Like from the fact that we're so different in height.
Mac can do crazy things with her hands.
Okay.
Show her the fingers.
What do you mean? Oh, my peace signs. You know when peace signs were like a big thing in high school?
Yeah.
Mine spread really far.
Like,
show.
Yeah. It looks weirder when you're like near other people.
For those not watching,
I would say there's probably like 4 feet or 4 inches.
It's not natural.
No.
Max index finger and middle finger can go
like a 90-degree angle.
I don't know
6
why.
inches apart.
I would have to like physically peel mine.
Yeah.
That's like what she does. Oh my.
And it's just natural. Like that's not me pressing. Like that is a natural. Like when I used to peace sign in like those pictures for the kids, it was like I had to pretend. I had to tell myself. Yeah, I had to tell myself like, okay, don't do it as much. Like just normalize it. Yeah.
Do a normal peace sign.
I was bullied.
I was bullied because of my weird fingers.
Yeah. Do you have all your toes? I mean, sorry, not your toes.
No, actually,
toenails.
Toes is actually a great topic.
Oh no.
I do have all my toes, but one of them is like half webbed.
Really?
What? So you might be a good sport.
The webbing, maybe.
It goes that far up your toes?
So this is the interesting thing. So my dad had 3 siblings. Okay. And I think I'm going to get this a little bit wrong, but like 3 of them were delivered by, his name was Dr. Webb.
Whoa.
Those 3 kids have webbed toes.
Whoa.
Like all webbed?
No.
Some of them.
Yeah, it's like occasionally, like all the way up to like the nail though, like fully webbed.
Like a duck.
Like a duck, like ducks. Yes. And then the sibling that was not delivered by Dr. Webb.
Was your dad?
No web toes.
Oh.
So tell me how that works.
That's
so you
creepy.
have one.
Wait, I have like a half a web toe from my dad. Yeah.
But you have all your tonails.
Yeah. Oh, well, not right now. Well,
Really?
3 of them are falling off from the marathon.
Do you cut them off or you let them fall off?
I let them fall. What about you? Do you miss toenails? Like, do you missing toenails? Like,
she has one.
My ultras. Well, my ultras, both my big toes fell off. Or my toes, my toenails fell off. And I have one that's like, it should be gone.
I don't.
It's just hanging out for
your
life.
How you guys? I've never had an issue. Never. Even running
you
across
must
the
just
state.
have like shoes that fit your
No,
foot
I'll
very
tell you
well.
why. I will tell you why.
Oh, okay.
Because Paul Kenneth Allen,
Full name.
Has this weird thing about being super hygienic about his toes.
Oh.
In the sense of like before every run, he rubs Squirrel's nut butter on them.
Yeah.
And then he puts on toe socks.
I don't always run in toe socks, but I do a lot.
A lot of the times. But Squirrel's nut butter, and he really massages it in there.
Yeah, I do.
Can I see your foot?
They're actually nice.
I would like to see an unsocked
my feet are kind of short though, so I have like shorter feet.
He's got little. Look at them.
Oh, so
they're actually nice
for runners' feet.
Yeah,
the toes are good.
I don't want to show you mine.
I don't want to show you mine either. Not good.
It's real bad.
I know.
Yeah, I've never had a black toe. I've never had.
Okay, now I have to show you one of mine.
Yeah, let me see. Wait, are you gonna show us the web toe?
Oh, I could do that one.
Yeah,
is that the one? I want to see what a web toe looks like.
Paul, look at my toenails.
Whoa.
Damn. So she's got.
Okay, but they're like gray. Her big one's like gray, not black.
Not nice.
But it looks like it might have already fallen off, and this is like a second
done.
layer.
Got like a nice little blood blister on the inside.
Dude. Yeah, you got 2 blackies in there.
Yeah, we don't.
Where's the webbed?
Oh, the webb's on the other foot.
Oh wow, I'm gonna see the web.
I know. Gotta get it out. Come on,
I
buddy.
gotta see
It's
both
only-
your
it's only
feet.
Sorry for
halfway.
those
Feet
who
pics
are
or
only
not?
listening.
It's like right
Oh, your
there.
toe is the same.
Oh, that thing is
wow.
black as the night.
Yeah, yours is pretty
I
bad.
love it.
Black as the night.
It's
Yep.
crazy.
Mine
Do
keeps-
you ever paint them or no?
No.
You
Oh
don't?
yeah, I know.
Mine keeps being bloody. Let me show you my toe.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Like
What is this?
Mine keeps being bloody.
What time? Hey, what are we at
And
time-wise anyway?
I don't know. We've been talking about toes.
2 hours. Okay.
Okay, I guess we can stop.
Oh, yeah.
a long-
You
Yeah,
never
that one
paint
keeps being
them?
bloody.
We could keep going. No, I don't. Do you paint your toenails?
Yeah, I don't.
Do you paint your toenails,
I'm
man?
not.
No, but I get them done every once in a while.
Okay. And then
Yeah.
that like.
But it's scary
can
because
get
I
some
feel
of
bad.
the skin taken off.
Well, I feel pressured when I go into the
know.
nails and I get my nails done and they're like, please get a pedicure. And I'm like, okay, sure. Because
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I'm like, and I'm always like, oh, but I don't really have all my toenails. And they're like, it doesn't matter. We can put a fake one on.
Yeah.
I'm like,
That's what they say.
they do. They're always like, I can put a fake one on.
Wow.
I
Okay.
know.
Well, I just keep them away from my toes, but that's about it.
We all just had a moment.
Yeah. Did you already eat dinner tonight?
I'm gonna pick up a burrito on the way home.
From where?
Like from where?
Qdoba, yeah.
Because they're open late.
Why would you pick that? Like, but you're downtown. You know, there's better food choices.
But really, what is open?
It's only like what, 9:08.
Okay, so I could.
You can
there'd
get
still be
ginza
options.
from you should get sushi. I kind of want sushi.
Hopcat.
Hopcat. I could go for a burg.
I love electric
that.
Cheetah's mac and cheese is my favorite mac
We've
and
never
cheese.
had
Never
that.
had
We've
that.
had electric
We've
cheetah.
had
Mac
electric
and
cheetah.
cheese is really
Their
good.
soup's really good. Soup
We
shop.
should wrap it up. We're at 2 hours. Now we're talking about local food.
I know.
I hope someone from outside of
Nebraska.
yeah.
It's like I don't care
Utah.
about. I don't
Right.
care about Grand Rapids
I
cuisine.
know.
Well, anyways.
Alyssa, thanks for
Thanks for coming on. We talked about a lot.
This
I was
went
gonna say,
well.
Don't even know how. Like if you drew a map of that conversation.
We got all
crazy.
over the place. I didn't even ask all my
over.
questions.
That's
no,
okay.
I have questions. I
You-
didn't ask. Next
You
time.
come back.
Okay.
Yep. Some other day.
Well,
Okay.
thanks, guys. We're gonna
Peace.
go get some burgers.
Yeah. Later.
Bye.